Savatti's been a ghost ship, 20 years of empty claims, with hangars full of garbage and dreams that never came. Now he's fishing for new suckers to store more junk inside, while promising his gullible fans hover cars and free energy rides.
We are working on anti-gravity. As soon as we get financed, which again is coming very soon.
Divine insights were handed down, but now they cost a fee. In the wacky world of Wilcock, that's the way it's gotta be. Financial resets, debts erased, a world so fair and bright. The alliance never came, and neither did his wife. The wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. It's the wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. Just buy my course, $300. Enlightenment's the deal. In the wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. Extraterrestrial pals, they're coming here to stay. Disclosure's always just around, but aliens delay. Law of one, the Bible, Bhagavad Gita, all mixed up in one. David's stealing from the best, but his fans think it's a brand new one. Plagiarizing Prophet, that's his favorite routine. In the wacky world of Wilcock, where nonsense reigns supreme, we'll all get rainbow bodies, whatever that might mean. And Jesus is an alien, the wildest thing you've seen. David's on a hero's journey through dimensions far and wide. Draco reptilians know where he lives, so in his mansion he must hide. Catastrophes and end times, we're on the brink, he said. But my coffee's brewing nicely, and I'm still in my bed. The wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. It's the wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. Just buy my course, $300. Enlightenment's the deal. In the wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. No one's suffering like David in his mansion grand and tall, with bison, steak and chicken, he's the loneliest of all. His teeth are fake as his prophecies, and courses that he sells. In the wacky world of Wilcock, he's ringing all the bells.
If we bathe in our own urine, we can gain superpowers. Doing the bath does help. Or you urinate before you get into the bathtub, and then you drink new water out of a glass, and when you're in the bathtub, you can do a little more.
Buy my course, $300. Enlightenment's the deal. In the wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. His PowerPoint slides are packed with schizophrenic rants, forced to stream on YouTube now, bankruptcies it stands. Stavatti aerospace, a Ponzi scheme they say. So pay pigs better pay up, or like Corey Good he'll stay. So many dates, so many dreams, none of them come true. But hey, don't fret, just buy the course and I'll enlighten you.
For God's sake, take the deal, okay? But you have to take the deal and you have to cooperate.
Rise, rise, rise. And you feel yourself, kinetic energy of levitation, tingling across your skin.
In 2012, we'd all ascend, a cosmic shift was due. But here we are in 24, and nothing much is new. Mass arrests and cover busts, beliefs should quake in fear, yet they're still here, sipping wine, and we're all stuck right here. In a world of Greer and Good, Crush and Lou, with their claims nobody tops David Wilcock, with his fringe and wacky games, while they're sharing UFOs and theories kinda tame. David's got aliens who wanna sleep with him and eat him, what a shame. He's the master of the bizarre, with rainbow bodies on display. In the wacky world of Wilcock, where nonsense leads the way. So here's to Dave, the shyster bold, but tales so far-fetched and grand. In his world of make-believe, where fantasy's second-hand, he spins his fairy tales and lies between his YouTube streams for his cat crystal ladies who gobble up his dreams.
Thank you guys for your super chats. It really does help me out. Because we have the aerospace thing, because products like this will eventually augment my income very nicely. You know, I'm not going to have to worry about making money anymore, so I want to make it clear that I could sell this stuff, but I'm not. And I'm voluntarily taking a much lower income and maintaining basically a poor lifestyle because I'm waiting for the big money to come in from the company. I want you guys to have this information. I have just enough time to build up the 5-hour show during the week, in between the massages that I get and everything else I'm doing. So, again, I feel a lot better this week. There was a lot more worry on my shoulders last week. We had a major breakthrough with Stavatti lawsuit. It's about to be dismissed. They responded to our motion to dismiss 5 business days late, and they just gave us a false affidavit that has nothing to do with the case. So they're done. And that's really fantastic because once that happens, it's a very, very quick path to clear our debts. We have no outstanding problems with the people we owe money to. We're in regular contact with all of them. We keep them updated. They're happy. Anything else you see on the internet is totally fake and very likely the product of the DS. So there's positive dreams about our company getting funded, and that continues to happen in time loop. And I again want to thank you guys for being here. This is an amazing, amazing opportunity that I have. Don't take it lightly. I greatly respect everyone in the Alliance. Thank you guys for putting your faith and trust in me. Thank you guys for sending me weird comms. Like I'm talking to my body worker about, well, you know, the first one they ought to grab is John, and then all of a sudden they made a post about that. Right after I said it to her in the appointment, she has a phone there, so they could have heard it from that. And in our last board meeting, Chris was just talking about his Beskar alloy that they named it after in The Mandalorian, actually. This material had a bubblegum consistency, but it looked like Teflon. It had sparkles and was metallic color. This is incredible. It is a brilliant description of the foam metal sandwich technology that we intend to use, where you have a metallic foam that at a relatively high temperature, it's still much like a liquid or like a semi-solid object. And then you can squirt this foam into whatever dye you want, and it hardens into a very strong, lightweight solid. So one of the advancements that we're going to be using in this, which is the 31, this is our first commercial product, the one that we've actually got the money. You actually sent off the business plan. You got it. Chris got it all done just a couple days ago. Thank God. I read everything. It looks great. It's amazing. So we have the supply chain in place. We have the partners in place. The money is positioned. This is probably going to take off first. And so we're going to be spraying out the whole fuselage. Has this liquid metal that then hardens in solids. It's a foam metal sandwich technology. This plane is going to use that, and the dream is talking about it. So once again, it's like, dang you guys, my father is not a defense contractor. He wouldn't know about polymers, but that's what we're working on. So again, just staggering Stavatti prophecy. So it's not trying to say that he's responsible for this. He's not. If they had anything on him, they would have done it a long time ago. So I did some swimming. I went to the shower, and this is where it all starts to get weird and talk about the island. There were 2 naked older gentlemen standing in the shower together. Yeah, they seemed self-conscious when I saw them. November, who was about 4 years old at the time, she was the daughter of one of the people on the farm. Now she was the daughter of these 2 weird old men. And they weren't feeding her. She was starving. She was asking me for food, and she was really desperate. And they're trying to destroy the evidence, like the LA fires. I did jump in and try to recover the music stand, and he then jumped in. He was going to land right on top of me, so I had to move out of the way. Someone else jumped in and tried to save him. I then got out of the water. The other guy got behind him, and the guy that saved him saves the guy, brings him out of the water by tying themselves together. And then the guy who had jumped over the edge of the boat, symbolic of these weird, creepy men, he starts trying to do his thing on the guy who was saving him. He's that crazy that he's trying to dry you-know-what, the guy that's saving him. It's just So weird and awkward, but this is again their mentality. And we're seeing this right now. They're just trying to do the last little bit of evil that they can while they have a chance. The rescuer was a man, then turns into a woman who had these huge, over-exaggerated breasts, huge cleavage-bearing top on where you could really see this, and they were utterly massive, much bigger than any biological thing. The drowning man then tried to do his thing with her. This again symbolic of the DS. David, next week is Easter. Can you do your show on Saturday, please? Says Jackie Baby. Okay. Maybe we will. Maybe we will. Let me think about it. I have to organize my week differently, but I will consider doing the show on Saturday so that people can have their Easter and you're not going to spend 5 hours sit in front of the screen. That's a good point. It's probably better to not do it on the day of because a lot of people do have family commitments there. I mean, I don't. But I'm, living out in the woods, crazy guy. So
Truth seekers exposing the truth. Truth seekers coming for you. Truth seekers exposing the lies. Truth seekers, open your eyes. They lie again. Have you had your fill? Let go of lies. Take your second red pill. I know you've had your fill. It's time to take your second red pill. I know you've had your fill. It's time to take your second red pill. I know you've had your fill. It's time to take your second red pill. Truth seekers exposing the truth. Truth seekers coming for you. Truth seekers exposing the lies. Truth seekers, open your eyes. Your second red pill. I know you've had your fill. It's time to take your second red pill. Truth seekers exposing the truth. Truth seekers coming for you. Truth seekers exposing the lies. Truth seekers, open your eyes.
Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back. It's Monday, which means it is time to return to the wacky world of Wilcock. And boy, there's not much new. Mass arrests are coming soon. Again, and again, and again, and again. And, I suppose we're going to start with that because I found a 13-year-old video here in which David Wilcock is talking about mass arrests 13 years ago, saying mass arrests are imminent. And this is a video from 13 years ago. So what we have to ask ourselves is how stupid are David Wilcock's morons, especially the morons that give him money for his prophecies. You've been prophesizing that mass arrests are coming soon since like the 90s, bro. Where's the mass arrests? You even said it happened before. I'm going to put my fair use banner up. By the way, we're under grifter attack with false copyright claims again. I've won every one of them, but it is annoying because I have to file all this paperwork as if these people don't know what fair use is. Obviously, what we do is a transformative work. We're educating the public. Yeah, it is fair use. So when we play a clip, we're not playing the original. This is a transformative work. You see this set here and how it makes things transformative. That means that it's fair use, and you shouldn't be filing false copyright claims and forcing me to spend my time defending against your frivolous false claims. But the good news is that we win almost all of these, but it's just getting to be ridiculous. If I have to file 5 legal letters a week to continue to do this, it's going to be very, very difficult. I barely have time now to do the things I need to do as a husband and a father and a show host. And these grifters are getting on my nerves, just adding to the fun, right? Just adding to the fun of doing this show. For those unaware, like I'm a pretty decent business person, but I will say that paperwork is like my kryptonite. If you make me do paperwork, yeah, it's a problem. Tales of the Sonic Voyage is here, who says, "Here's one for the goal, Steve. Let's rock." Kind and generous $5 super chat. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. We have a very meager goal tonight. We'd like to get 50 super chats, any denomination. Maybe I can hire somebody to deal with these fucking idiots filing false copyright claims. I kind of wish they would file the hard strikes though, because then the strikes would revert to their channel. But when they file the soft ones, it's like, well, I just got to file all this paperwork so that I can then remonetize the video. But they're basically stealing money from me penny by penny. That's how this works, right? Because while the claim is in place, the video can't be monetized, right? Yeah, don't hire Rakita. I would never hire that guy for anything. Absolutely for anything. Ardnet is here. Do you know who Chud Logic is? He has an in with a lawyer and defends creators against bogus copyrights. No, but if you could email me about that, I'm getting to the point of yeah, it's all different people. It seems to be coordinated to me. It seems to be coordinated. It's like the grifters are talking behind the scenes, but it is what it is. We win every single one of them. So Macario has posted a new and updated compilation. And as I said, David Wilcock is talking about mass arrests. Okay. There are still 2 months of shows, he says, and I have to add to catch up. This one has a new beginning, taking us all the way back to 2012. So Macario has compiled, hey, David Wilcock followers, you morons, you idiots, you dummies. How many times do you think that he has talked about these mass arrests being imminent? Here's a clip from 2002. 2002. And by the way, this is a transformative work. We're educating the public. This is fair use. And I hope the audience will forgive me if I have to constantly assert that what we are doing is fair use, because it does help in our legal defenses when we get these false copyright claims. Who will go to jail in this mass arrest conspiracy? Well, the bad guys, of course, because they're like, David Wilcock talks like 6-year-olds, the Dark Alliance, and the Alliance is the good guys, and the Dark Alliance is the bad guys. Macario deserves an award. He really does. Yeah, he makes things so much easier for me. But I thought, since David Wilcock is foolishly continuing to go tell his idiot, dumb as rocks followers, and I'm sorry, I'm out of patience for his followers, especially people shoveling thousands of dollars at him for these ridiculous prophecies. One major one of his prophecies is mass arrests. And here we are in 2012. 2012, friends. And this is after his ascension predictions completely failed, So he pivoted it to mass arrests are coming any day now. Right after he was pushing Ascension's coming any day now, all the way up to December 2012, and then nothing happened.
About pending mass arrests. You have to understand the scope of what we're talking about here. We're not talking about 10 people, 20 people.
Pending
we're talking
mass
about
arrests.
A systematic, potentially worldwide effort, although most of these conspirators are in the D5 countries, so I've heard. But it's a very widespread effort to effectively give us, as a planet, a massive dose of antibiotics against an infection that has been threatening to almost completely destroy its host. The host being the earth and its people, and the animals and the plants and the trees and everything. So Drake came along on the internet recently. I was sent an email by him announcing that he was going to have some radio shows. But when the email first passed by my desk, I didn't quite catch the impact of what it was saying. Because up until now, the only people who have really been reporting on these pending mass arrests whatsoever have been Benjamin Fulford and myself. Those on the inside were aware that these mass arrests that have been planned ever since the 5-inch document you saw in 1979.
Oh, yeah, the mass arrests have been planned since 1979. And here he is in 2012 saying that the mass arrests are going to happen.
Could actually move forward by the will of the civilians in terms of common law going back to the Code of Hammurabi and 11,000-year-old documents.
Oh,
We are looking at right now
here we go.
tribunals
2019,
that are allegedly
mass
taking
arrest
place. We have
again.
very good intel on this from multiple insider sources that they have arrested right now key people in the deep state.
Wait, David, I thought you said mass arrests are coming any day now on your latest live stream. Here you are in 2019 saying mass arrests already happened.
They already have tribunals going on in several locations in the United States and apparently Guantanamo. There are prison barges taking people to Guantanamo, and what they've done is they have started with...
Does anybody remember seeing prison barges on the news in February of 2019? I sure don't. Oh, that's right, David Wilcock, because none of this shit happened. You made it up.
The mid-level people who were directly involved in child trafficking. The sealed indictments that we've been hearing so much about are being unsealed.
They weren't unsealed.
People are being put on trial.
Nobody was put on
in
trial.
Secret tribunals.
There
These
was
are
no
military
secret
trials.
There was no military trial.
Come to this work through my material on the Alliance, and then you're saying, well, okay, David's talking about
There he is
people
again
being
in
arrested.
February in
He's talking about
2019.
tribunals. How does this relate to the idea of ascension?
Multiple sources.
And I believe the two are fundamentally interconnected.
Multiple sources talking about the mass
part of
arrests.
it is this concept of the tribunals and the arrests. I believe this is going to happen. I've spoken to multiple people in the Alliance, okay?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what's so
Great
exciting about the
sources.
sealed indictments.
Sealed
That's what's so
indictments,
exciting
mass
about the
arrests.
idea that tribunals have begun. And I had heard all the way back in 2009
Yeah, well,
about mass arrests.
He's a little
that there
retarded.
would be tribunals.
Buffalo Spunk, so,
That the
you know.
most evil and sadistic people in the world who were doing really horrific stuff that we're not even going to get into all of it. You've heard me talk about
Boy,
this many
February
times.
was big
that
for
those
pushing
people
a
would
mass
be brought
arrest.
to trial.
There was
that
no
they
trials,
would be
David.
actually forced to answer for their crimes.
Nobody was
and that
forced
they
to
would
answer.
be then incarcerated, or in some cases actually
Scammer
receive the
language,
death penalty.
yes.
So things have gone really wild because I've been talking about this since 2009. I had other insiders giving me information about these mass arrests. The 30,000 U.S.
March
soldiers who
in
will spread
2020,
throughout the
mass
entire
arrests.
European region with tanks. What we're getting from our...
Does anybody remember thousands of troops spreading across Europe with tanks in March of 2020 and mass arresting people? No, me neither. So, you know, I just don't get how his followers don't understand that he's pulled this mass arrest scam over and over and over and over again. The mass arrests are coming. The mass arrests are coming.
briefings, folks, is that this...
Yeah, he's getting briefings. The briefings are so good that they keep telling him mass arrests are coming since 2012.
...is a targeted effort for the mass arrests that I've been telling you about this whole time. That's why they're there. There's 37,000 troops from 18 countries, including the U.S., many, many U.S. troops. You better believe those are elite soldiers. They're very...
There is always troops, American troops, stationed in Europe. We have bases there, you moron.
very trained. What are they doing? They're going to the places where the deep state is. They're infiltrating their strongholds, and they are arresting people. They're not... This is really...
Nobody got arrested in March of 2020. Nobody got arrested in Europe. There was no mass arrests, David. How many times are you going to pull the mass arrest scam on your dumb as rocks followers, your idiots and morons and old dumbass crystal hippie bitches that listen to you and think that you have some kind of insider knowledge? If you had insider knowledge, you wouldn't be wrong this many times. Here you are being wrong again, David Wilcock. How many times are you going to be wrong about the mass arrests, and yet you still insist it's coming any day now?
A very interesting moment in our timeline. And I will just point out to you to start with that we have received new briefings. Those
new briefings. Yeah, he gets briefings. I love the use of the term briefings, as if he's sitting in a skiff somewhere with like intelligence people who are giving him briefings on things. You know, when he says the word briefings, what he means is I talked to one of my wackadoo sources, you know, like the court-martialed PDF file. That was one of his sources, or the senile old man who was a con artist, Pete Peterson, or the fake secret space hero, Corey Good. By the way, we have some news on that. David Wilcock lied to everybody, saying that the Gaia suit against Corey Good was being settled. Right? And you know how he likes to say, oh, and anything else you see is a lie from the deep state. I guess the deep state has infiltrated the court systems because we have the court documents that show there was a settlement conference. No settlement was reached. We're going to show it to you tonight.
Briefings are very amazing. So I'm going to cut to the chase, stop the suspense right off the bat, and say that we heard it years ago, and I had forgotten about this. The briefing is that we are going to get 3 days without internet.
Mass arrests, 3 days of darkness. It's all coming soon. You will be able to call 911.
You will be able to call
what a loser.
Other emergency services. You will not be able to use the internet. It will slow to a crawl.
Fear-mongering, exactly, yeah.
You might be able to get your email. I don't know if you're going to be able to text people or not. But basically, it's a shutdown of the phone and the internet.
Yeah, he's pulled this 3 days of darkness, shutdown of the internet, a whole bunch of times, too. Charles McDonald, hearing the call for the goal, says he's been avoiding arrest for his space taxes. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank you, Charles McDonald, hearing the call of the goal. And we've got Alfred Ponte. Oh, let me see. Alfreda Ponte. I hope I said that right. With one for the goal. He's now crying that YouTube is his only income. Yeah, he only makes $258,000 a year, Alfred Aponte, and it's barely enough to survive. But thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. And Nemesis Bex is here, hearing the call of the goal with £5, saying one for the goal. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. It is much, much appreciated. And let's see if we can't continue.
And that's for 3 days. We have 4 different...
Anybody have a 3-day long internet outage around, I don't know, April 2020?
Sources that are telling us this, and one of those 4 sources has 5 different independent sources that told him this. The timing that we're getting on when this is going to happen...
When is it going to happen?
...is anywhere from today or tomorrow. There's another window that suggests, and this is from a State Department source.
Oh, sure. David Wilcock has State Department sources that are risking their jobs leaking classified information to him, the guy from Ancient Aliens. Like, because a lot of people in the State Department are like, you know what? This is a really cushy job. I make $150,000 a year. I got a great pension plan. I got great, benefits, but I'm going to risk my job to leak sensitive classified information to the guy from Ancient Aliens. Because sure, that's what people in the State Department do, David Wilcock, you liar, you scumbag. You don't have State Department sources, you lying scumbag.
The latest one that I just got, that it could be before, the 3 days could be before Good Friday. But during those...
Does anybody remember mass arrests around Easter time 2020? See, it's cyclical. He pulls this shit in cycles.
Those 3 days, there's going to be the arrest of the bad guys.
Oh, the bad guys.
So this is a very wonderful thing.
Bad guys are getting arrested.
So that's where
everybody.
You get your sealed indictments from. Now
it's
we have a lot of sealed indictments.
He's selling
from what
stupid
we're hearing,
people.
During those 3 days, many
the
of
State
these
of
indictments
David's hair
will be
department.
unsealed,
Yes.
and many people will be arrested. So what do we got ahead in the coming weeks?
Oh,
probably a blackout, probably
2022.
Big, crazy, weird
Same
stuff.
prediction again.
Probably scary stuff.
Same prediction
it could get a lot
again.
worse. I don't know. I don't know if it's all going to roll up this week. I don't know if it's going to take weeks more after the cabal has been arrested and exposed, which is going to take a while.
It's going to take a while. Well, this is 2022 and we're in 2025. 3 years, this is a while, David. It still hasn't happened yet, but yet you're still predicting it.
When we get into the next class, and I'm going to talk about the solar cycles and how that's working, it's going to be a couple more years, but the bulk of it, I think, is going to be over before the end of this year. The bulk of the most kinetic stuff, which is why I doubt that we have to wait until November to see some really big stuff.
Oh, November.
I don't even think the election is going to happen. I don't even think there's going to be an election at that time because why?
Here he's saying we were not going to have an election.
Other events are going to supersede that.
World's greatest. Remember, he's in touch with angels. He has prophetic visions, and all his dreams are prophetic and tell the future. Here he is failing miserably, claiming that we're not going to have an election. We had an election, David. You were completely and totally right. I guess the angels are lying to you. But wait, angels don't lie. So I guess you're not talking to angels, you lying scumbag grifter. You've been selling angel prophecies for years now. Angels lie to you? Angels don't lie, David Wilcock, and they don't give false prophecies. So I guess you're not really talking to an angel, are you?
Probably see a bunch of people arrested before November 5th. They're true. There is going to be a full exposure of the DS.
July 2024.
High-level arrests.
High-level arrests.
We're going to see
mass arrests.
That almost immediately turn into disclosure.
Yes, Archangel Michael
There's
is
no way
passing along bad intel.
They are going to
September
be brought to justice.
2024.
We are going to see this unfold.
Mass arrests.
And I don't even know if November is going to happen in the normal way or not. Maybe it will. I'm strongly inclined to think something's going to happen before then. I'm strongly inclined to think that the negative is going to try anything it can to try to stop this from happening.
The world's greatest prophet with an F.
Mayhem they try to create may in fact trigger this event where the Alliance then does a whole bunch of arrests and we have a bunch of very exciting things take place, as I've said in many, many other shows before. And if this event happens, I have no idea where it's going to go. It might be that arrests happen right away. It might be that the Alliance's police actions we've been expecting happen right away. And I was of the opinion
October 2024, mass arrests are coming.
Some type of arrest scenario before November.
Before November. It's coming before November, friends. My
opinion and belief based upon
does anybody remember mass arrests in November?
It keeps coming at us.
Credible
day
intel.
You'll see the page again on X where you can find this stuff.
How is it? So his idea of credible intel is a Q-tard Telegram poster. Q-tard stuff is credible intel. And he said that the mass arrests were going to happen before the election. That didn't happen.
I don't think they're going to put me on Tucker Carlson until the arrests have already happened. But once they do, I highly expect that will occur.
You're never going on Tucker Carlson because he talks to a lot of wackadoos, but you're too wacky even for him.
The military has been working.
October 20th, 2024. More mass arrests. The military is getting ready for the mass arrests.
The rule of law behind the scenes to arrest a bunch of people.
Oh,
a bunch of people have already received the death penalty very quietly. You don't know about this. They just disappeared. And all of the things that are happening right now as we head into November, this is the big moment because once...
There was no big moment, David. You were completely and totally wrong, psychic boy. Right? Gee, I guess your superpowers failed you. Maybe you ought to take more baths and piss, bro, because your superpowers are terrible.
The Alliance, which is...
People who could just guess and make shit up have a better track record of accuracy.
Behind the man running, once they get back in power, now you're going to see arrests. Now you're going to see...
See, he always contradicts himself. Previous, he said the mass arrests are coming before the election. Now he's saying after the election when they get back in power, which wouldn't be until January. So he said the mass arrests were going to happen in November, but this is what he always does. As the date he gives get closer and there's no sign of it actually going to come to fruition and happen, he pushes the goalpost. And now he says, oh, they have to get elected first and then get in power January 15th, and then the mass arrests will happen. But guess what, David? You were wrong both times. The mass arrests didn't happen before the election, and they didn't happen after the election so far.
you know, the emergency messaging system on your phone.
Oh, the 3 days of darkness, the internet's going out.
There might be military activity in the streets, depending.
He's like a broken record, this clown.
On where you live. So guys, this coming week could be a wild roller coaster ride. That's the third time in 1 week that they've told us Friday, this weekend.
Friday, this weekend. The mass arrests are coming, friends, but then they didn't happen.
And they're telling you about this foundation. This guy just stepped down. Something big is coming. And they're going to start.
Something big is coming. Big mass arrests. Oh, shit. That didn't happen.
Doing some arrests and bringing out information. The initial wave will be fast and meaningful. So this is talking about the operations that we're expecting to see, how sudden and how dramatic this is going to be.
Now we're after the election, right? The election was November 15th. The mass arrests didn't happen by the election, so he's just pushing the goalposts back.
It's a very, very exciting thing. It might only take 1 day. And the escalation that we're seeing right now.
Anybody remember a day with mass arrests? Gee, funny, I don't.
Could lead to an operation happening. So this suggests that arrests and major stuff, including emergency broadcast system, may occur in
3 days
December,
of darkness, emergency
may
broadcasting.
Occur in January, could be well before the 20th.
Oh, could be before. So wait, I'm confused, David Wilcock. You said the mass arrests were going to happen by the election. And here you are after the election pushing the goalpost back, saying they're going to happen by January 20th, by the inauguration. And guess what, David? They didn't happen by the election, and they didn't happen by the inauguration.
So I have to amend what I said last week. A new phase.
I have to amend it. In other words, I completely and totally screwed the pooch on this prediction, and nothing happened. But don't worry, the QTAR Telegram poster is saying it's still going to happen. So it's still going to happen.
And notice that, likely the final phase. Whoa. Yeah, we're at the end, folks. This is it. And it's all going to lead to the arrests and all the cool stuff I've been telling you.
Yeah, and this guy is a criminal that he's using. Scott Ritter, he's a scumbag. And he's on all the QTAR channels and,
But the ultimate point, as we keep saying, is that this is going to lead to a global moment of truth.
Here we are in December. The mass arrests are coming by January, friends.
Where once you see the arrest take place, and believe me, you'll know what I'm talking about once it happens. It's going to be unlike anything you've ever seen before. And it could be that there are emergency messaging systems.
Again, with the 3 days of darkness, emergency messaging systems on your phone, the internet goes down. They're just playing videos telling you about these arrests that are happening.
When these arrests take place, it could be that you're going to hear, to stay in your house.
Yeah. And it could be that monkeys might fly out of my asshole and fly around the room to entertain my audience. That could be too. It could be.
I'm so excited about what's going on.
He's so excited that a bunch of people are going to get arrested. And, not for nothing, but isn't he supposed to be like a love and light, crystal kind of hippie person? Why would you want to take away somebody's constitutional rights and force them to be tried in a military tribunal without having the benefit of, rights, civil rights? He's happy that people's rights are going to be taken away. What kind of spiritual guru is happy that people will be oppressed and tried in military tribunals?
And yeah, even if they try some UFO event, whatever, it's not going to turn out the way they want. And if they do it on a big level, whatever they try to do, it would actually activate the alliance. And then the arrests happen. And
the alliance doesn't exist, David Wilcock. It's an artificial, fictional construct, which was told to you by a proven con artist, fake whistleblower.
Then we see, after the arrests, and only after the arrests, and only after the public learns the truth, then the UFOs will show up. And the thing is, we're getting ready for January.
Did anybody see UFOs show up after the mass? Oh, that's right. The mass arrests haven't happened yet. We don't get the UFOs until the mass arrests happen.
And we're expecting disclosure, and we're expecting arrests, and we're expecting all this amazing stuff that I've been telling you to get ready to happen. The arrests that we're talking about, that we're going to expect,
it's going to trigger global ascension.
Level. There's going to be many people that are implicated all at the same time. There will probably be some type of very, very public events around all of this.
Anybody remember any public mass arrest events?
There's going to be a whole lot of stuff going on. It's going to last for a while. It's going to be upsetting to a lot of people.
Oh, so upsetting. Adam is here. Adam Wooford is here with one for the goal. I like how they make these prophecies and nothing happens. I think you meant nothing happens. They make these prophecies and nothing. Yeah, nothing ever happens. Lord Ludicrous, thank you very much. And Lord Ludicrous is here with one for the goal. Didn't 4chan get hacked and shut down today? Yeah, I heard that, but I don't know the details of it, so I'm not going to speak on that. But I'm sure that David Wilcock will weave that into his bullshit somehow, right? He will definitely weave that into his bull. Vitaly got arrested. Yeah, and good. I think all nuisance streamers like that should be dealt with very harshly. Throw the book at Vitaly. The guy's a scumbag, right? And thank you very much, Chill Station 7, for your comment. I am surprised he never talked about the drones that were flying over New Jersey last December. He did a little bit, but he didn't really. I think he couldn't figure out a way to weave that into his grift, right? So he didn't weave it in too well.
We don't really know how this is going to.
And by the way, almost 100% of those New Jersey drone sightings were misidentifications of regular aircraft, helicopters, commercial airliners mostly.
Turn out, yeah, but we know a lot of people are making deals, and hopefully most of them are just going to get, life in prison sentences. The drone thing, I think we can safely.
He's happy people are going to get life in prison. Some spiritual guru.
We believe that now. Over the next several days, we are taking back our country.
This is Q-tard hopium nonsense.
From evil tyrants. Initiating fail-safes to safeguard the public from fallout. Mm-hmm. So nothing's really going to happen?
Oh, they said Mr. Podesta was going to be arrested. A state of temporary military control will be actioned and special ops carried out.
People will be.
None of this happened. All the Q-tard posts are about as accurate as David Wilcock's fake prophecies. They never happen. Early on in the Q-tard thing, one of the first major predictions was Hillary Clinton is going to be arrested by next week. She was never arrested. So why would you trust Q-tard posts when they're always wrong, just as wrong as David Wilcock is wrong?
Arrested, confirmation will then be revealed. On his order, there will be temporary control actioned. Dang, dude. I am so excited. The action begins in 3 weeks. They've said from day one.
There you go, 12/29, 3 weeks away from the mass arrests. Do you remember it happening in January? I don't, because it didn't happen, David. You were wrong again. How many times have you been, this is a 16-minute video. How many times have you been wrong about these mass arrests? 10 times? 20 times? 30 times? I've lost track of how many times he's been wrong about these mass arrests.
That there's going to be trials and arrests and, people being found guilty potentially. Is there going to be mass arrests before the 20th? Maybe not. I don't know.
Oh, now he doesn't know.
Try to attack the East Coast. We're going to try to shut off the power.
Was the power shut off in January? Not really.
If that happens, the Alliance has stuff that's much better than these drones, much more capable. I don't think they might permit a little bit of it to happen, but it won't be anywhere near the scope of destruction.
Oh, well, that's good news.
That the negative was hoping for.
Good news.
And it very likely will lead to the arrests right then.
Oh, in January, he's predicting mass arrests. But you said they'd happen by the inauguration, and then they didn't. Of course, first you said they'd happen by the election. November 15th, they didn't happen. Then it was January, and they didn't happen.
And so that could be when we get the 10 days of darkness. So once again, they're warning us about 10 days of darkness. It could be very imminent. So again, when the 10 days get started, what I'm expecting will happen.
Mass arrests and disclosure any day, imminent. This is January 2025.
Is arrests, and then very soon thereafter, the revelation of what crimes are being committed, along with disclosure. And arrests and disclosure are followed by some type of ET first contact.
Oh, but that's supposed to happen by May now.
Benevolent ETs. Now we are very much expecting that the alliance is going to do their job. They're going to do the arrests. The world is going to learn the truth. It's not going to be secret. It's going to be on all.
This is January 12th, just before the inauguration.
All the media. It's going to be very upsetting for a lot of people. They say maybe it will happen, this mass arrest. That's what they're talking about, folks. Maybe one day, but it cannot go slow. And other places, they say 10 days. And they said, look over here on the East Coast, and then something happens on the West Coast. So...
Oh, something happens. What happens, David? He doesn't know.
The posts and the cross-references they're already making are strongly implying that this is going to trigger the arrest scenario somehow. It's such a massive crime. It
didn't trigger anything, David.
Almost demands.
Because this is all Q-tard hopium nonsense that you believe is real. Because you're a moron.
A response. Why we're, there
are videos, David Wilcock, of people breaking down all the times the Q-tard posts have been wrong in their predictions.
Why was the water not there? We have the alliance and...
January 19th. This is after the inauguration. So it didn't happen by the inauguration, like you said. So what's he going to do? Push that goalpost back further.
The return of 45, now 47, to the office unleashes their full agenda. We can expect that they are going to be arresting people.
You said it was going to happen by the election. Then you said it was going to happen by the inauguration. Now you're still saying it's going to happen soon. And as of his live stream last week, he's still saying it's going to happen. It's imminent. Any day now.
And we can expect fully. Hold on, let me move this. We can expect that there is going to be disclosure. Mass arrests are going to be happening.
I must have missed the disclosure and the mass arrests.
It will probably begin with, what we're expecting, that people are going to be brought back to their own country, as you know that whole story. And once we get to the point where the high-value people are accused and the high-value targets are now being dragged in, that's when we can expect massive, violent, weird counterattacks. Because
there was no massive, violent, huge counterattacks.
We got Monday, the inauguration. Arrests are going to happen.
Oh, this is right before the inauguration. I think the inauguration is the 20th, and he's still talking on the 19th.
Happen, and then they're going to fight back with Bluebeam is the scenario that it seems we're now...
Oh, they're going to do a fake alien invasion after the mass arrests. Yeah, because that makes sense.
Being painted here. Nothing is as it seems as we're heading towards this mass arrest.
All right, so the inauguration passes, no mass arrests, no blue beam, no alien invasion or fake alien invasion, no extraterrestrial contact. So what's he going to do? Push it back further.
The event, whatever you want to call it. All the way back when Peterson was telling me about what they were going to do.
Yeah, Pete Peterson, the con artist. Okay, that's your source for this.
The arrests in 2009, he said it might take a period of time, perhaps 10 days. Because, there's going to be people shooting at him. There's going to be soldiers at the front of the building that don't want you going in there. They're going to do everything they can.
Whoa.
They're going to try to create, apparently, the Blue Beam event.
Oh, the Blue Beam fake alien invasion event is going to happen. This is January 2025. Does anybody remember an alien invasion, fake or real or otherwise? Oh, yeah. It never happened, David, because you're the worst goddamn prophet on earth.
Scare us with a fake alien invasion. They want to do riots in the streets. All this kind of crazy stuff is stuff that they want to do to try to stop this event from taking place. And I do believe that, folks. So it's really, really wild. And this is a direct allusion to the 2025 prophecies.
Oh, okay. 2025 prophecies. Yeah.
And everything, the alliance, the arrests, it's all happening this year.
It's all happening this year. The mass arrests are happening this year, friends.
There's going to be a big reveal coming up. That is the...
What about when you said the mass arrests were going to happen last year and it didn't happen? Remember, November is 2024. He said it would happen by the election. November 2024. It didn't happen. Now he's saying, oh, well, it'll definitely happen in 2025. And if not, I'll come back and say it'll definitely happen by 2026. And if not, 27, 28. I'll just keep giving the same false psychic prediction over and over and over again.
Mass arrest scenario that the alliance is
February
bringing forth. And when we get to that point, you are going to be dazzled.
We are in a very intense astrological period. So
it's happening
exactly
any day
when you
now.
have huge conjunctions in 1 month, that's when you could expect mass arrests and that kind of stuff to happen. So just hang in there, folks. If you're bored, you're not paying enough attention. And symbolically, we are seeing this now with the fires and the apocalyptic plane crashes. So
he's got to tie in real world events to make it seem more plausible, I guess.
The aficionados of this information might not have to wait much longer. That means us. We're going to see results. We're going to get the arrests. And this is what we need as a collective soul. Isn't that beautiful? There's not going to be earth changes. The arrests will happen, and it triggers ascension. The stage is being set. Everybody's learning.
Okay, so just so everybody's clear, he keeps saying that the ascension happens after the mass arrests. So he said ascension is coming by May 2025. That means these mass arrests, there's only 45 days left, David. And if that doesn't happen, you're wrong again.
The truth at the same time. When it leads to the exposure of the truth, then you're going to get the arrests. And then it's going to take 10 days, and it might involve emergency messages on your phone.
Over and over and over again with the same prediction.
It might involve seeing activity out in the street. They'll give you numbers you can call. The movies will play things for you. I mean, I've been studying this for so long.
We made it. And by the way, that's not a complete listing. There is much, much more times that he said the mass arrests are coming any day now. He said it in March. He said it in April. He just keeps going with these mass arrests. And I don't know, nobody ever sees the mass arrests. Where are they at? Where are they at, David? When is the mass arrest happening? You keep pushing it back, giving different dates, different times. He doesn't know shit. He has no insider knowledge. He has no secret, sacred knowledge. He's just a grifter, just a greasy grifter that is taking advantage of vulnerable, stupid people. All right. So we're going to continue the journey here. But before we do, big thanks and big ups to Chill Station 7 with one for the goal. Thank you, Chill Station 7, for your kindness, your generosity, and your support of the show. It is much, much appreciated. And we've got Trolley Troll with 2. Did my taxes on Saturday, and it wasn't good. and it won't good? I think you meant wasn't good. Yeah, I'm happy to announce, Trolley Troll, that I survived another year of doing taxes with my accountant wife. I think it's all done. I think it's all done now. So thank you, Trolley Troll, for your kindness, generosity, and long-term support of the show. Thanks to all of you. Scottish Alan is here. David is the master of slides. Yeah. Somehow he thinks if he writes it on a slide, it makes it true, right? Who would believe someone who bathes in their own pee? I know, Stormcrow, right? But anyway, let's get into these clips that Macario has graciously provided. He's plugging this business because they give him free jackets, apparently. Nice.
I am the proud recipient of a brand new light blue velvet sizzle jacket, my friends. 7 Geometric Forms has delivered once again. I'm not tucking in my shirt. I don't want this to get too crazy hot, but I love this jacket. So thank you, 7 Geometric Forms. Want to give due respect when someone bestows such sizzle upon the David.
He thinks this gay jacket makes him look good. I don't know.
Wilcock universe. This is truly a really wonderful thing. I love this kind of jacket, and I decided to go with the light blue shirt underneath. Whoops. I am the proud
Oh, okay. So he's giving shout outs for free clothes because he's broke. David Wilcock is so broke. David Wilcock is so broke he can't buy his own jacket. He's taking free clothes from stores and giving shout outs because he's broke. That's right, Chill Station 7. Not only is he broke, he's also balding. And thank you for your kindness, your generosity, and your support of the show. Much, much appreciated. Big support tonight from Chill Station 7. Big ups. Let's go. I will check in with the goal here. We're at 8 of 50, going along at a good pace. We just started on the clips, so we're doing good.
Now that we're so close to the final arrest.
Look, don't make me review cologne. And again, this is from I forgot it's Tuesday. Did I say it's Monday at the beginning of it's my Monday? I don't know. This is just from April 13th, again with the mass arrests. So I began tonight's broadcast showing you a history of just how many times this greasy, greedy grifter has predicted these mass arrests coming anytime soon. And just so you know, this is garbage hopium, because who's getting arrested? Basically anybody the audience doesn't like, right? If you really don't like Hillary Clinton, she's one of those people getting arrested. If you really don't like the Biden family, they're getting arrested, right? This is just right-wing conspiracy nonsense.
Now that we're so close to the final arrests, in fact, that's my next slide. Great segue.
The final days. We're in the very final. Remember how many times in that clip I showed you? We have one from 13 years ago. Mass arrests. David Wilcock, mass arrests. Here, I'm going to share this tab. Here he is predicting mass arrests are imminent on March 28th, 2012. Here he is right here, March 28th, 2012, predicting that mass arrests are coming any day now. And yet here he is, April, just this past Sunday, which was the 13th, predicting that we are in the very final days before the arrests. Well, how come they didn't happen in 2012 when you predicted them, David? How come they didn't happen all those times in the clips that you predicted? But now we're supposed to believe you that for real, guys, the mass arrests really are coming this time. Forget about the boy who cried wolf. This guy's the boy who cried mass arrests are coming any day now.
I still think that the final phase we're going to go through will be some sort of a giant surprise. Now, something jumped out at me this past week.
Yeah, how the hell is anything a giant surprise to a psychic? Maddie says, sealed indictments and mass arrests since 2018. It's a little impressive that this grift going for so long. Popcorn is so stale at this point.
Which was, that's right. He put
somehow the tariff amount points to a Q post. No, it doesn't, you moron, idiot, grifter.
The 34% tariff on, and then they did the same thing. Dude, that was a direct throwback to post number 34, which is the mass arrest write-up that we are always seeing. It's sort of like
You mean the time that Q predicted the mass arrest years and years and years ago, and then it never happened?
The all-in-one, one-stop shop type of post that says, you know what's going to happen? There's emergency messages going to happen on your phone.
Does he forget like how many times he said the same shit over and over again? This is how desperate he is for material. Like even his dumb dents are starting to go, wait a minute, you said this before. H-Bomb is here. You didn't need to do that, but thank you. Says one for the goal. Big up Steve and big ups to H-Bomb. If you like those David Wilcock even gayer than usual gay clips in the beginning of the broadcast, those were provided by H-Bomb. So thank you very much for your kindness, generosity, and support, and helping make David Wilcock even gayer, right? As if that was necessary, but I think it's funny. Thank you, H-Bomb. He dreams of it every night. I think he dreams of dildos every night, personally, and getting pegged. That's what I think he dreams about.
There's going to be restricted travel for a while, and even the president may end up being on an airplane because he doesn't want to even be on the ground at all because the risk is going to be so high, and
gosh,
the
so
location will be
risky.
classified. It's a really heavy.
You know, the White House is one of the most secure locations on planet Earth. So even that statement is nonsensical. As if he'd be safer up in an airplane than at the White House that has a bunker and missiles on the roof and all the military and Secret Service protecting him.
heavy thing. We've talked about it. We're going to read it again this week. If you understand the backstory, it's quite amazing. So after I figured out what 41020 was, they put it right into the show. So thank you, Alliance, once again for the shout-outs. What is the Alliance?
He thinks that the Q-tards are talking to him and communicating with him through Q-tard posts. And the Alliance is a fictional construct made up by a con artist that claimed he worked for Ronald Reagan, who never did, who claimed that he was an early techno pioneer, but he never was. He was a complete and total con artist, and you've been telling his stories for years, David Wilcock, because you're an idiot. You're a bum. Get a job, bro.
What is 34? Why do I care about this? Because, as you guys know, we are dealing with a rogue alien agenda.
Yeah, they used to call it the Dark Alliance, but they stopped because Corey Good lost all his lawsuits against the people that were supposed to be in the Dark Alliance.
Actually,
and somebody don't let me forget, we have a Corey Good update to show you that David Wilcock is lying to everyone yet again.
It's about to go down. I totally agree. And in other words, I am very, very happy because we're at the end of this thing. I'm not just going to be here at home alone, never acknowledged beyond my own audience that we have. You know, this is what I'm doing.
The Alliance is going to welcome him into the fold.
Is going to have a lot more significance once they actually arrest people. And that's the other part of the story.
So he thinks his life will have much more significance once people get arrested? Why would a spiritual guru want a bunch of people arrested and imprisoned? This makes, if you don't think this makes sense, then you're right. It doesn't.
I mean, I've been very, very busy. We've had.
Yeah, Stavatti Aero has everything ready to go. They're actually going to make a product, according to David Wilcock, even though they have it in 30 years, David. You gave a scam company all of your money, you moron. You're never going to see a penny of it back, ever.
Had some stunning, wonderful, actually several stunning, wonderful breakthroughs going on with our company.
Have you ever noticed that every week there's big things happening with this company, but yet they never do anything other than show pretty pictures of airplanes and plastic models that they printed on a child's 3D printer?
Finally now, actually, Chris got off the big proposal that he needed to get for the SM-31, which is this plane right here.
And he contradicts himself here because just last week in his stream, he said that this airplane is going to be very easy to produce, and that's why they're producing it first, because it doesn't have any high technology breakthroughs. It's very standard. And here he is contradicting himself. Now this thing's going to have some kind of, you know, adamantium liquid metal Terminator skin on it.
Here. So this is something that he needed to basically show, how do we manufacture this aircraft? Who are we going to hire? The freaking investor says, you need to give us a list of everybody you're going to hire to build this. Well, we've created affiliations. We're now affiliated, just in the last week, I think we've affiliated with 3 or 4 other companies.
Oh, okay.
So things are really happening. We've got the
things are really happening. Let me tell you something. If you have a real company, things are always happening. But notice how he has to say, things really are happening now. I'm not just talking out of my ass like I usually am.
Supply chain, the pipeline in place to be able to actually build these. And we've got the whole business plan worked out, and Chris got it sent off in the email.
Oh God, look at how bald he is, dude. Look at his back of his head.
So
wow, man, his hair is trying to escape.
So that was the last thing they needed before they were ready to commit funds. Oh.
Okay, so the funds are coming. Just like last week when the funds were coming, David Wilcock.
Family. All right.
David Wilcock, I know you watch my shows, so here, I'm going to give you some advice. Stop pretending that you're ever getting any of the money that you sunk into this shitball company back, because you're not. You're never going to see a dime of the money that you gave them. They spent it all already, and they don't have money to pay their bills. So how are they paying back previous investors? The truth is, they're not paying back previous investors, and that's why one of the previous investors of that company sued them. And, yeah.
Family. All right. Ed Creeder donated
Wilcock is so happy, and you can see why. He's getting so many donations today. His main source of income and Chris Beskar's side income. Yeah.
$123. Wow. And then Richard Whitney. It's like they're psychic. Look at this, right next to each other. He donated 200. He donated 123. They did it.
They're morons. David Wilcock's followers are morons.
Almost simultaneously. Check that out. That is real synchronicity.
Why would you give David Wilcock money to tell you about the mass arrests coming again? Did you not remember the first 20 times that he told you the mass arrests are coming any day now? And that his company's getting funded next week? He's been telling you that for 50 weeks or more. Years he's been saying the company's getting funded next week.
Synchronicity in action. Richard Whitney, $200 donation.
Oh,
peace,
God.
love, and peace.
This pisses me off. You know, there's people that do things the right way, and there's people that just grift. It must be nice. You just get thousands of dollars showered upon you. For what? For reading Q-tard posts, moron idiots?
Everyone, thank you, David, for all you do. God bless. All right. Well, we've already made more than we did in some of the other shows where I didn't talk to anybody for very much. So you see, it's profitable for me to engage with my audience. I'm just joking, but actually...
No, look at the smile on his face. That's the only thing that makes him happy is money from morons.
You know, this is my main source of income. It's my job to show up here on a Sunday and deliver, you know, amazing content here, and hopefully not...
This is amazing content, saying the same shit over and over and over again. The mass arrests are coming. The mass arrests are coming. And I'm making amazing content saying the mass arrests are coming.
I have... Looks pretty good. My hair looks pretty good. Family.
He's worried about his hair. He should be worried about it leaving his head, because it is running away, friends.
Most people have a negative view of the small country.
Oh, and here we are. David Wilcock has gone full anti-Semitic.
Wow. So they've dropped below 50%.
Oh, I do think that 4chan thing is interesting, because apparently when they got hacked, somebody leaked where all the posts are coming from. And the highest number of posts on 4chan were coming from Israel. Take from that what you will.
In the Republican group, GOP, which is a cratering. And then back when I last saw it before on the left side, it was already down at like 24%. That's before whatever is going on now. So the reason why the approval was so much higher was that GOP was hovering in like, I don't know, the 80s or something, 80% approval. So if it drops below 50, that means there's been a sea change, and there's just no political will to keep this going. So this again seems to be...
I love how David Wilcock is not only an expert in ancient civilizations and sacred geometry and aliens, he's also a geopolitical expert somehow. Dude, you have a degree in psychology. Like, at least if you had a degree in history or something, I could maybe see how you think that you know what's going on in the Middle East, but you don't.
Be a very, very big development over the last week. The photo they chose says it all. It's pretty hilarious. Most people have a negative view.
Yeah, so he's saying that most people have a negative view of Israel, and I don't believe that. I think it's pretty split. We don't get into politics here, though. Me, I just pray for peace. That's what I pray for, that we get some form of peace. Is this the last one?
Most people...
Yep. Let's get to the next one.
That you have directional time travel. If you go ahead...
Macario says, this is just tarded. I don't even think he knows how the Earth rotates. Superman time travel is real.
Ahead of the sunset, if you fly into the sunset, ahead of where the Earth already was rotated when you left, you're going to go into the future. But if you go backwards before the sunset, you're going into the past.
This is a Star Trek episode. Remember when they slung around the sun to go back and get those whales? Dude, this is science fiction. It's not real, David Wilcock. You can't time travel just going around the sun.
And so it's actually very similar to the original Superman movie where he's flying around the Earth and he reversed time.
He reversed time by spinning the Earth backwards, you moron. That's not possible.
If you travel through enough distance, you're going to travel through more time.
Deep thoughts with David Wilcock. Hello, I'm a moron. Oh, man.
The Earth is a sphere. It flows in equally from all directions. But in the case...
David loves his new toy. This is what he pegs himself with.
To the pyramid, you can imagine that on one level it's a solid object.
Yes, friends, he sticks that up his butt. He butt bangs himself with that thing. I know it's gross, but that's why it's so brown. He's been giving that thing a workout, just pegging himself.
Object, but then on another level,
climbs on top, sits on it, puts on some music, lights some candles, calls the plow guy over.
Imagine that just from the outside, that it's like a glass. It's like a hollow glass. And if I were to turn this upside down and pour water into it like a
Buffalo Spunk says, cue Depeche Mode song, just can't get enough.
Glass, and then I start stirring it around like this inside.
Oh, that must be the lube he uses. You got to lube it up. Look how big that thing is. It ain't fitting in unless it's very well lubed.
You're going to get this little vortex current that looks like a tornado inside the water. So there's a level at which the object behaves like it's hollow with this gravitational energy that's flowing in. And the gravitational energy is fluid-like, and it actually can spin inside the pyramid.
This is pseudoscience nonsense that he just makes up.
Actually starts spinning around like water going down the drain. And so what's happening is that every pyramid is naturally doing this all the time. It is a machine with no moving parts.
Yeah, and so basically what David Wilcock is saying is every Egyptologist on Earth is wrong. Every pyramid expert is wrong. Every archaeologist is wrong. They don't know what the pyramid does or what its purpose was, other than most agreeing that it was a tomb for the pharaoh. But David Wilcock is right, where every scientist on Earth is wrong. Sure.
And so what happens when you've got a whirlpool vortex that's just sitting there in the middle of Egypt?
A whirlpool vortex. A whirlpool vortex, friends. It's a whirlpool vortex.
So it's a very, very strange thing.
You all knew that Back to the Future was based on info from Area 51, right?
To realize that anti-gravity could not have been released to the public because some idiot is going to go and kill you in the past because he doesn't like you. People are going to start creating time paradoxes. This is what Back to the Future was about. Back to the Future movies were very well informed by the Area 51 knowledge of the Project Sigma conferences.
Yeah, so Back to the Future, the movie, was based on Area 51 technology somehow.
So it's a very, very strange thing.
Oh, it's strange,
to realize that anti-gravity could not have been released to the public because some idiot is going to go and kill you in the past because he doesn't like you. People are going to start creating time paradoxes. This is what Back to the Future was about.
What is that area? What does anti-gravity have to do with time travel? They're two entirely different things. Is he saying if you could do anti-gravity, you could also do time travel? I don't know.
Back to the Future movies were very well informed by the Area 51 knowledge of the Project Sigma conferences.
Project Sigma. Garbage. It's garbage. Now I lost my place. Damn it.
So isn't it interesting that
Kozyrev's, this is that Russian scientist that's a quack. He's not even a real scientist.
Kozyrev says, okay, I'm going to build this mirror thing. This is a big aluminum tube. You can lie down inside of it. There's a bed in there.
Yes, and he doesn't scroll down and see that the AI says that this idiot Russian made this stuff up and it's fake. It's not real. It's a hoax.
And even Google's own AI overview says that it potentially creates time density gradients.
Yes. And if you scroll down, it says that this is pseudoscience and it's fake, David. You forgot to scroll down, you moron.
It manipulates time and space and alters your consciousness.
Yeah. Okay, so he is a Russian astrophysicist. I'm sorry, some of those Russian science guys that he likes to quote from are fake scientists. The scientific community largely dismisses these claims due to lack of rigorous evidence and repeatable results. Critics argue that the effects could be psychological, placebo-driven, or exaggerated. And Kozyrev's theories diverge significantly from mainstream physics, particularly in their reliance on unproven concepts like torsion fields. No peer-reviewed scientific studies conclusively support the mirror's alleged abilities. Enthusiasts view Kozyrev mirrors as tools for exploring consciousness, meditation, or universal energy fields, often linking them to spiritual practices. They're sometimes marketed for personal use with claims of enhancing intuition or energy harmonization through though these remain anecdotal. In short, Kozyrev mirrors sit at the fringe of science and metaphysics. Fascinating for their bold claims, but unproven and highly speculative. If you're curious about trying one out, approach with skepticism and focus on the experience rather than expecting verifiable time travel or psychic powers. And this is what David would have seen. He just left that out of his presentation, that this is fake shit. You gotta love it. Robert P is here with one for the goal, asking when is the dildo reveal? May 31st. May 31st. So we won't have long to wait. Thank you. Big ups to Robert P, longtime show supporter, for a kind and generous $5 super chat. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. Big ups, and thank you for helping us to praise the cash properly. Thank you, Robert P. And Germ70 is here with one for the goal. I can't believe the Lizocrats hired Stephen to bury the imminent arrests of David Wilcock's political enemies. Yeah. Oh, remember, David Wilcock said I was getting arrested some time ago. So I guess I'm in there. I'm also going to be one of the people arrested because I attack David Wilcock, remember? And isn't it interesting? He said I stole, what was it, $4,000 out of his bank account? Was that like a month ago? He said I stole money out of his bank account. And when you know it, I still haven't been arrested or even questioned by the police about me performing basically grand theft against David Wilcock, which would be a felony. If I actually stole money out of David Wilcock's bank account, don't you think I would have been arrested by now? But thank you, Germ70. I can't believe that they hired me either. But the check's late, so I'm gonna have to get the check before I'm going to continue in my disinformation, operation here. But thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank you, Germ70. And Call Me Astro is here with 10. David needs that money. He really, really does. He needs that money. Just put the fries in the bag, David. And he's bald. He grifts all that money, and he's still balding. I know, dude. Buy yourself some minoxidil, right? Or a rug. He's a rug guy, too, Call Me Astro. I guarantee when it becomes too obvious that the hair on the top of his head is gone, he's going to get one of those miracle hair systems where they glue a rug onto the top of your head because he's too arrogant and he's too, narcissistic to just shave his head like a man, right? But thank you, Call Me Astro, for your kindness, generosity, and support. It's one for the goal, and we are at 12 of 50. 12 of 50. Let's go. Let's get some support. Don't make me beg like Darkside Phil. Thank you, Call Me Astro. Chill Station 7 says he's going to use that money to buy a wig. Yes. Yes. But thank you for that. All right, we'll go to the next slide. We're going at a really good pace here, so we're going to be through these pretty quickly.
So everything is really good today. I feel great. So let's get into Daddy's Turkey's Return. Ooh, wow.
Daddy's Turkey's Return. You know what he does to those turkeys.
Hey.
And look at here he is in his little tiny mountain cabin. It's like a 4,000 square foot mansion.
This is really interesting. They just found a whole bunch of friends and they brought their friends out later.
Man, look at his head. What the hell is going on, dude? Like, your hairline can't get any further back, dude. It just can't. Look at it.
At night for dinner. It's like 5:45 p.m. They're not even usually out this late, but they're here now. So this is really cool.
Yeah, and we titled tonight's broadcast "Alone on the Mountain" because this guy pretends that he's some hermit living in a tiny cabin in the mountains. It's a multi-million-dollar mansion. It's worth millions of dollars, and he's got, I don't know, a lot of acreage of land around him. And of course, I guess
really
wildlife. So there's his turkeys. I'm pretty sure he butt bangs those turkeys. It's my opinion. I'm entitled to it.
Come on out to
Macario says this has to be a lady's hat.
the store. We got the pig farmer's hair. We got your cigarettes, hams, fireworks, and bacon. You go, come on in now. Come on there, little guy. You come on in here. You want to play with fireworks, son? Well, you tell your mommy and daddy you going to buy them fireworks right here.
Just a note to say, a spiritual guru wouldn't make fun of a good portion of the country. You know, people in the South have accents. It doesn't make them stupid. It doesn't make them, less than. But he's constantly making fun of people from the South. What, people from the South? I just don't understand that. Chill Station 7 says he's got the Mao Zedong hairline with 5 and 1 for the goal. Yeah, and Lily says, WTF? What the F is this now? Yeah, I have no idea. He thinks this is funny, making fun of Southern people, right? Pretty cringe for a spiritual guru to be making fun of Southern people.
You know, this week.
Okay, so here's where it gets interesting. Macario says, everything has worked out with the lawsuit. It's all good now. And what you need to know is David Wilcock is lying to his 500,000 subscribers, because the Dimitrov lawsuit, the investor suing Stavatti, has not been resolved. It has not been settled, despite his at various times claiming that that lawsuit was being settled. And the Gaia TV versus Corey Good lawsuit has also not been settled, and I have the paperwork to prove it. So here he is right here lying to 50,000 subscribers, or is it 500,000? I think it's 500,000, right? He has 500,000 subscribers.
You know, this week has been pretty good. It started out really, really badly. We had some very, very bad news that started out the week, but it actually has all worked out beautifully. And
yeah, the bad news is that Gaia TV did not settle with Corey Good. So that deposition that he was sweating, that then he said, oh, I won't have to do it, they're settling the case. Yeah, that's still on. You're going to have to give that deposition, buddy. And I'm going to get it.
I'm really, for the first time, feeling like we're in a really good space with lawsuits and stuff like that. There's nothing actively going on.
What do you mean there's lawsuits actively against Stavatti? Creditors are suing Stavatti. Investors are suing Stavatti. Your company just got evicted from a part of its property for letting a sewage company illegally dump fill on the premises. Previous to that, Stavatti's only income was from a garbage dumpster company that was storing garbage dumpsters at that facility. And the Gaia TV lawsuit is not over, not by a long shot.
Which means probably another one is about to happen. But anyway, when
he's lucky I don't have, money to burn on lawyers, because this guy, so far he's claimed I got him swatted. I stole money out of his bank account. He claimed that I was a criminal, a child predator, a Satan worshiper, and that the police were investigating me and I was getting arrested. When you say, play stupid games, David Wilcock, win stupid prizes. That's why you're embattled in all these legal stuff, because you're a scumbag grifter. Get a real job.
I have been going through my ups and downs. I come back to the Archangel Michael readings, which again started out in 1996. And
yeah, he kept the tapes of him babbling for hours and hours and hours and hours.
I have them on tape here,
Oh man. So David Wilcock says that the lawsuits are all over. There's nothing active. That's what he said. There's nothing active, right? But the problem is that they are active. And so I have this from Light Warrior. I said, Corey Good is now freeloading legal services off of a pregnant woman he has not paid in over a year. Earth's galactic ambassador is a broke loser. And for those unaware, Corey Good was the fake secret space hero that David Wilcock grifted with for years and years and years, made millions of dollars selling people fake secret space program stories. And David Wilcock is very upset because he doesn't want to have to give a deposition. But here we can see, let me make that as big as I can so that we can read it. Oh, thank you, Lily. And here we can see Magistrate Judge Catherine Starnella. And they checked the box. A settlement conference was held on this date, and no settlement was reached as to any claim. So this is the Gaia TV versus Corey Good lawsuit. And this lawsuit is going forward, which means David Wilcock is going to have to give an 8 or 10 hour deposition. I think they can make you sit there for a full on day. So 8 hours, they could make you sit there and answer questions. And Light Warrior says, no settlement was reached, and Uneros hasn't been paid in over a year. She's about to give birth. Good is a freeloading, deadbeat MFer. Good and Wilcock will have to defy a court order to avoid being deposed. Get the popcorn ready. So remember those Corey Good depositions? We're going to get more. And this time we're going to get a David Wilcock deposition. And John Christian Stavatti says, but also on other outstanding invoices, I'll ask the uncomfortable question, is it Corey's kid? Even I don't like to joke about paternity, though the father is actually her ex-client. True story. So, oh no, David, not like this. And Elmo says, fantastic, I'm ready. People are getting their popcorn ready. And here we have the proof that Corey Good is a broke loser. Upon information and belief, they became delinquent on payments due not only on invoices for various legal matters that I handled, but also on other outstanding invoices. Their financial difficulties made it impossible for them to avoid legal fees. And this is some time ago. So basically what we have here is Corey Good is leeching free legal services off of a pregnant woman that feels sorry for him somehow because he can't afford a lawyer. And the question has been asked, and this is interesting, how is this guy, he's always bragging, like this is Corey Good bragging. New Cosmic Green Light episode, our new documentary is nearly out of post-production. If distributed independently, the film should be published by late April or early May. It may be picked up by a major streaming platform that has shown interest in some of our other projects. My family is excited to tell our side of the story and what we have experienced. The film covers my family's paranormal experiences, so he's grifting with his children. And it should be known that both Corey Good's children, to the best of my knowledge, are special needs. He's grifting off of his own special needs children, having them tell paranormal stories in a documentary he's going to be selling. The film covers my family's paranormal experiences and my time working with David Wilcock at Gaia, and covers the lawsuits, death threats, and stalking we have experienced and how we have overcome all of it. The film will feature reenactments, virtual effects, and animation from our graphic novel art. In the next couple of weeks, we will announce the 2 production companies we are working with. Stay tuned, more coming soon. How is this guy producing films if he doesn't have money to pay his lawyer for over a year? And Light Warrior says this. So Corey Good, sue Light Warrior. Don't sue me. I didn't say this. I'm just reporting on what was said. Oh, I'm wearing the right shirt. Don't sue me. I'm wearing the right don't sue me shirt. Don't sue me, bro. Since his bankruptcy in 2008, he hasn't owned a house. He has been living off of the money that he, I'll say, allegedly embezzled from his business partners since 2020. His main company, Good Enterprises Solution, is insolvent. In other words, broke. I wouldn't put it past him to use his children as tax or legal judgment shields. So, yeah, how is he producing films if he can't even afford a lawyer? Right? But he's got all these big, huge projects that are in the works. And whoa, Robert P. Big ups to Robert P. Thank you so much. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Robert P., who's been the MVP of gifting memberships lately, just gifted 5 True Seekers memberships. This is why you should subscribe, because if you're a subscriber, not yet a member, and a kind and generous soul like Robert P. gifts these memberships, you could win one. like RoboNext666 won free membership. And Hugh Peni was gifted a free membership. And we have Cal was gifted a free membership. Gray Matter was gifted a free membership. And Shiloh was gifted a free membership. All thanks to the kindness, generosity, and support of Robert P. Very, very kind and generous of you. Thank you, Robert P., for your kindness, generosity, and support. And of course, we thank everybody that helps us to praise the cash.
Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash, praise the cash.
Thank you very much. So interesting. David Wilcock has basically been caught lying to his audience yet again. The lawsuits are not being settled. They are going forward in both of the cases that he's very concerned with. One, an investor is suing Stavatti, his shady, scammy aerospace company, and also they're being sued by creditors that they owe a bunch of money to. And Corey Good is still being sued by Gaia TV. There was a settlement conference. No settlement was reached because Gaia is not going to back down. They're going to want him to publicly apologize, and then they're going to want him to pay for their damages. And he's broke, and he can't afford to pay shit. He can't even afford to pay his lawyer, right? So, interesting. Let's go back to the tab where he says everything's great.
This week has been pretty good. It started out really, really badly. We had some very, very bad news that started out the week, but it actually has all worked out beautifully. And I'm really, for the first time, feeling like we're in a really good space with lawsuits and stuff like that.
How are you in a good space if the lawsuits haven't been settled? You lied to your audience several times so far and said that the lawsuits were being settled. They're not being settled. They're going forward, and you're going to have to give your deposition, buddy, and I'm going to broadcast it here. I hope to God they film it. We may have to deal with just a transcript, but if all we get is a transcript, I'm going to AI that shit so we can still make him sit there in the deposition chair and squirm like a bitch.
There's nothing actively going on, which means probably another one is about to happen. But anyway, when I have been going through my ups and downs, I come back to the Archangel Michael readings, which again...
Oh, yeah, the Archangel Michael, sure. You're talking to angels. You're talking to angels. Sure, you're talking to angels. Next.
That this is the end game.
Macario says, now he's hanging his ass out on the line because he doesn't know what's going to happen. He is the Archangel Michael. He is telling himself prophecies that he made up, but he doesn't know if he's telling himself what's going to happen to himself. Great.
We're in it right now. And I do believe that. As crazy as this is, I know I'm hanging my ass out over the line here, but what the hell? They've been trusted.
It's the next couple of months now. This is going to happen.
I believe them. The choices and decisions you make in the next few months will shape the time of your transformation quite directly.
And you know what's ridiculous is that he expects us to believe that an angel gave him all these prophecies in 1999 about 2025. Why would they not give prophecies about the year 2000 or the year 2005? Why did they only give prophecies about the year 2025? Well, he needed a new grift in the year 2023, so he started this up. Then he could say all this stuff is going to happen in the next few years. And guess what? None of the stuff that he predicts in his books happened.
So let's see. Next few would be at least 3, maybe 3, 4, or 5. So if we were looking at, we're now into April.
You said all this was going to happen by May of 2025, David, just a few months ago. Now you're kicking the can. Now he's kicking the can, friends. He's got to move the goalpost yet again because his predictions aren't happening. So just move the goalpost and his dumb as rocks followers won't notice and keep giving him money like the morons they are.
Of 2025, that's the month we're in right now. So if we're in April and you add 5, that brings us up to September-ish.
So now he's pushed the goalpost from May to September now.
And then we got this guy who thinks it's going to be in November. Okay, September, October, November. At the most, right? Because a few you're looking at like 3 months, 4 months, or 5 months. Because after 5, it becomes several.
I love how he just keeps pushing the goalposts back. And like nobody's supposed to notice. For 2 years now, you've been saying that this was all going to happen by May of 2025. The first wave of ascension was going to happen, I guess, right after the mass arrests in May of 2025. And then we'd have open extraterrestrial contact from angelic extraterrestrial beings like the Nordics, I guess. You said all this was going to happen by May of 2025. Now you're changing it to September.
So I don't know. I mean, it is driving me crazy that the Alliance hasn't done it yet. The anticipation is killing me. Of course, I'm sure it's the same with you.
Oh, yeah. The anticipation for Ascension is killing me, David. I just can't wait for Ascension. And another stupid thing is if we're all going to ascend and have superpowers, why do we need hover cars? Why do we need weapons of war if we're all going to be 4D light body beings and be all peace and love and sitting around a campfire, I guess, singing Kumbaya together? Why does your company need to sell missiles and bombs and shit?
Like, please get those things published so that we can see this and you can move forward. But I don't think they're going to make us wait a whole lot longer no matter what. There's some very telltale.
Notice that every time that he talks about this stuff, it's definitely coming in the next few months, and then months go by, it doesn't happen. Oh no, it's still definitely happening.
Signs. The tariff was 34%.
This is his sign. The tariff was 34%. And so he matched that up with a Qtard post talking about mass arrests. That's his intel. That's his secret, sacred knowledge from angels. A Qtard poster told him.
Exactly, which is post 34. So like, whoa. So is this true? Yeah, I think it probably is. I mean, I'm willing to talk about it, and I'm willing to risk being humiliated in case nothing happens, but I really do think...
Well, you're going to be humiliated in May because we have all the clips of you saying all this was going to happen by May, and we will be humiliating you with those clips, David Wilcock.
This is going to come true. The choices and decisions you make in this is the end game. The choices and decisions you make in the next few months will directly shape the time of your transformation.
Oh. First wave of ascension within this year. No, David, before you said by May of 2025. Now he's pushing the goalpost back. He's kicking the can because he's got to keep collecting money from morons in his audience. And how stupid do you have to be sitting in David Wilcock's audience every week and not remember, like, wait a minute, David, you said this was going to happen by May of 2025. Now you're saying by September or sometime this year? And what's going to happen when it doesn't happen at all this year? On January 1st, 2026, what are you going to say? This is why I have a problem with him collecting so much money. Because, not for nothing, but he's basically just scamming people. Did I lose my place again?
Regardless of how we want this to feel,
Oh, the Armada. The Armada is coming.
I had a time looped.
He had a time looped dream.
That this is the end game.
All right, I found our place. This is the next one. He had a time loop dream. The Black Panther looking dog is Obama. He is a huge animal that is dirty and gross. Wow, that sounds kind of racist, David Wilcock. David is going down a certain path. Yes, he is. And anti-Semitic as well. Real good spiritual gurus are always racist and anti-Semitic.
Had a time looped dream. So this is 9:03 a.m. 2 dogs were at the back door. One of them looked like a Black Panther. Oh, we know who that represents. If you've seen the show before, former president. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the Black Panther represents Obama?
That's, I think, what we're talking about here, and the Alliance keeps mentioning him in the slides. This was a huge animal. Both of these animals were completely
dirty
covered
and
in
gross.
filth. They looked predominantly like dogs. But again, one was a dog, one was a Black Panther. So they were totally rolling in the mud. That's a symbol of carnal forces, symbol of the negative.
It turned from a panther into a dog.
And then the panther actually turned into a dog.
Everybody has weird, nonsensical dreams like this, but only David Wilcock will make a slide about it and pretend that it's something important, right? Only David Wilcock would do that. Oh, man, I had this weird dream. I'm going to have to make a slide about it. And while we're on that subject, I don't know why. I really don't know why, but yesterday I had these weird, vivid dreams, and I had my old band van back. We had this old 1982 Ford E150 conversion van, and we spray painted it black and purple, and we tinted all the windows. And for some reason, I was dreaming that I still had that van yesterday, but I didn't make slides about it. Sorry. So I'll just mention that verbally. I don't think it means anything. I think maybe, and then I woke up, and you know that famous line from the Tom Petty song, I woke up in between a memory and a dream, because it was just weird. Like, I really did wake up somewhere between a memory and a dream, but I didn't make any slides about it. So sorry, guys. Maybe I'm too lazy to make slides about nonsensical dreams that don't matter.
Regardless of how we want this to feel, the simple truth is that the entire armada will be reestablished based on someone else's discoveries. We have then fused them together to arrive at a new and unique whole. Well, this is clearly predicting mass arrests.
Oh, mass arrests again. Mass arrests.
The entire armada.
Oh, yeah, and Stavatti is going to reestablish the space armada for Earth. These guys that can't even build an airplane, they're going to build a whole armada of spaceships for Earth.
Is the alliance. That's what they're talking about. And what I'm doing with Stavatti, we're helping to reestablish the American Armada. I mean, this is going to be the most badass fighter that's ever been made. It's like 7th generation. If the F-47 is 6th, this is like 7th.
No, they said it was 6th generation in their own materials, you moron. It's not 7th generation. Stavatti's own material suggests it's a 6th generation fighter. Now you're turning it into the 7th because they didn't get a contract to produce it as the 6th generation fighter for the United States. Somebody else got that contract, a real company like Boeing.
And, you know, we can get them done in 3 years. We get them out in 3 or 4 years. We get them out into the marketplace. So that's rebuilding the Armada.
Why do we need to rebuild the Armada if the first wave of ascension is coming this year? Why do you need 3 or 4 years to build an Armada if we're already ascended, David Wilcock?
So it's like fascinatingly connected to the technology of the hover car that we want to build. We may end up actually being the first company that does anti-gravity that actually can sell you an unclassified anti-gravity hover car.
Yeah, he's going to sell anti-gravity. Sure.
And what's so...
and you know what gets me about the hover car thing is 3-4 years ago now, he said that they would have a working prototype within 1 year of a hover car. Where is the prototype? If you could actually make anti-gravity work, wouldn't you at least have a technology demonstrator, something that you could show people to say, look, we cracked anti-gravity, and here's this test model, and we can show you working anti-gravity. He's a lot of bullshit and nothing that works. He cobbled together a bunch of crap from the internet, none of which works. And believe me, people have tried that stuff. You know, those plans you find on the internet where somebody claims, well, if you just do this, you'll produce anti-gravity. People are trying that stuff. Jeremy Rise, alien scientist, is out there trying this stuff. And Mark from Falcon Space is out there trying this stuff with a whole lab, and they can't get working anti-gravity. So how has David Wilcock got working anti-gravity when real scientists can't do it?
So fascinating as it says, as you can see here, the Armada will be reestablished on someone else's discoveries.
Yeah, and he's using the Salvador Pius discoveries, which hasn't been proven to actually work.
We're actually thinking of using...
So basically, he's building his bullshit on top of another guy's bullshit, and that is Salvador Pius's bullshit.
Things like the Salvatore Pius
there you go, Salvador Pius. I called it.
Discoveries declassified by the Navy to make the anti-gravity.
So show us it working, David. Show us that Salvador Pius's technology works. He can't show us it works, but you're going to show us that it works? And of course, Salvador Pius is now making all kinds of excuses for why he can't show anything that works. The guy claims that he invented, anti-gravity, free energy, and more, but he can't show us anything that actually works.
So we're actually going to, we've always said the best way to get this out is to use someone else's discoveries. We can't precisely copy things that are classified, because if we do it that way,
and they can't precisely copy Salvador Payas's patents without getting legal, rights, without getting a deal with the patent holder. You can't just. For years now, David Wilcock has been saying they're just going to use Salvador Payas's patents to create hover cars. Does he understand what a patent means? It's a way of protecting your technological development or your invention so that other people can't use it. Therefore, it's not your patent. You can't use that technology, even if it works, you moron. But nobody can prove that Salvador Payas's patents work. And several scientists that I've talked to says it sounds like Star Trek technobabble.
Actually infringing on classified patents. And even though you would never hear about it, we would get in trouble for infringing on the patents of a classified project.
He doesn't have access to patents from a classified project. He has access to public patents which prove nothing. Salvador Payas, show us something floating with anti-gravity, dude. Show us that this technology actually works. He can't. So he's basic. This moron saw those Salvador Payas patents, and he got a big anti-gravity boner, and he decided that he could just take the guy's patents and make hover cars with that technology described in the patents. Well, it's been 3-4 years, dude, since those patents were released. Shouldn't you have something working? If that shit works, shouldn't you be able to show us something working by now?
So we can't say, oh, we saw this thing in a classified project. Let's just steal that. No. If you steal a patent that's classified,
if you steal any patent,
you can still be held accountable for it, even though it remains classified. Nobody knows that happened. So we had to use somebody else's discoveries. Michael already understands that. It was so incredible, you guys.
Oh, Michael understands that you have to steal somebody else's technology to create hover cars. But like I said, it's been 3 or 4 years. He hasn't shown anything working, and neither has Salvador Payas. And he's never going to show anything working because that technology isn't real. It's science fiction, my friends.
At one point,
let me just take a moment to check in with the live chat. I'm way behind. I apologize. For those unaware, we read. Okay, we're all caught up. For those unaware, we read every single super chat. We thank every single person. Let me take a moment to check in with the kick.com chat. For those unaware, if you send support through a super chat, we read those out. And if you're kind enough, so we've got Big Man's Gaming and Winter Soldier and Scopely CFO over in the Kick live chat. Big shout out, Heavy Kevy 5555, and I mentioned Scopely. Yes, Scopely says this guy's ex-wife was also a scammer. Yeah, she's right now selling a course for $10,000 about like how you could be a warrior woman, I guess, right? We'll take a moment to welcome in the Kick Live chat and also see if we've got any stuff over there to read out. And we do. Winter Soldier became a subscriber. So big shout out to Winter Soldier. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. It is much, much appreciated. Thank you, Winter Soldier, for helping us to praise the cash only on Kick.
Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash.
Praise the cash. Thank you. And I also want to take a moment to check in with the Buy Me a Coffee. I know somebody bought me a coffee recently. We read every one of those. Instructions for how to do that are in the description of this video. Eve bought me a coffee and says, thanks for all your hard work. So thank you for buying me a coffee. Well, it says beer right now. I'm going to change that because I'm trying to cut down on the beer, right? So don't buy me a beer. Buy me, and I don't even drink coffee. I guess got to change it to buy me a tea or maybe buy me a Monster, like an energy drink. For a while, I couldn't stream unless I had those energy drinks to keep me, Okay, did we play this whole? Yeah, we played this whole thing. Oh no, we didn't play it. Let's listen.
At one point, I left this huge room, 212. I didn't know if I was coming back. And again,
Buffalo Spunk says none of his dreams are actually prophetic. They're all just gay and retarded.
if it was like conferences, I haven't done regular conferences since 2019, just one or two here and there. I then met a guy who had just played Edgar Casey in a television program. Right, so he just had the pyramid symbolism.
Well, that must mean that the guy looked like Edgar Casey. So maybe, according to you, if you just look like Edgar Casey, you're Edgar Casey reincarnated. Maybe David is an imposter, and that actor who played Edgar Casey in a TV program who must have looked like him to get the job. Maybe he's Edgar Casey reincarnated.
And now we got the Casey connection. I tried to talk to him and tell him that I was psychic. He backed up in fear and made the distance between us twice as much. So this is people who really wouldn't be into what we're talking about right now. This is a personification of them. And of course, the Casey Association treated me like this. They were very mean to me.
Yeah, because you were grifting off of their dead relative, you loser.
I used some immediacy and I said, you are obviously not comfortable with who or what I am. And so I think part of this is talking about how I haven't been comfortable with this.
All his ups and downs. It's so terrible, my friends. So terrible, my friends. Next.
And in our last board meeting, Chris was just talking about his Beskar alloy.
All right, and this is where he lies. He says that Beskar armor on the Mandalorian was named after the CEO of the scammy aerospace company. But we know John Christian Spadavaccia got to an actual writer, I think from ILM or somebody that would know that works for Lucasfilm, who said that this was a pile that never happened.
In our last board meeting, Chris was just talking about his Beskar alloy, that they named it after in the Mandalorian, actually.
No, they didn't name the Beskar armor after Christopher Beskar. And Christopher Beskar never designed anything for the Star Wars prequels like David Wilcock also claimed. This is the true mark of a pathological liar. They lie about stupid things, right? Like, oh, the CEO of my company, George Lucas named the armor after him because he designed spaceships for the prequels. No, he didn't. He's not in any of the credits. He's not on IMDb. He's not in any of the credits. You're just making stuff up.
Bubblegum consistency, but it looked like Teflon.
Oh,
it had sparkles and was metallic color. This is incredible. It is a brilliant description of the foam metal sandwich technology that we intend to use, where you have a metallic foam that at a relatively high temperature, it's still much like a liquid or like a semi-solid object. And then you can
another prophetic dream.
Squirt this foam into whatever dye you want.
Yeah, David Wilcock is dreaming about things being squirted, but up his ass.
And it hardens into a very strong, lightweight solid. So one of the advancements...
Now remember, he said that this airplane was just going to be standard off the shelf so that they could produce it quickly. It wasn't going to have any exotic technology like the other one. And here he contradicts himself.
That we're going to be using in this, which is the 31. This is our first commercial product, the one that we've actually got the money.
Yeah, I don't believe they have any money. If you've got money, why don't you pay your bills? Why don't you pay your creditors? Why don't you pay back the investor that you owe millions of dollars to, David Wilcock? You and your company are scumbags and grifters and con artists and scammers. And that's my opinion, by the way. You guys are allegedly scammers, grifters, and con artists. Allegedly.
Sent off the business plan. He got it. Chris got it all done just a couple days ago. Thank God. I read everything. It looks great. It's amazing. So we have the supply chain in place. We have the partners in place. The money is positioned. This is probably going to take off first.
Yeah, don't hold your breath, friends, because this company hasn't produced anything in 30 years. And David Wilcock has been lying weekly to his dumb as rocks audience, telling him that money's coming in and Stavatti's going to start producing things and then he's going to be rich. That's how you know he got scammed, because this company just keeps telling him, oh, don't worry, David, the money's coming. We're going to get your money back. You're going to make tons of money off your investment. No, you're not. How much money did the other investor make off of the investment that he laid out? The guy laid out $1 million. He didn't even get his initial $1 million back, let alone make any profit. Wilcock, you moron.
And so we're going to be spraying out the whole fuselage as this liquid metal that then hardens in solids.
Sounds like exotic technology to me. And just the week before, he said that this airplane did not use any breakthrough or exotic technology. It just used regular technology. That's why they're going to produce it first. It's easy, just off the shelf. They could build these easily because it doesn't use exotic technology. I don't know. Spray on foam metal sounds like exotic technology to me.
It's a foam metal sandwich technology.
There's no such thing as foam metal sandwich technology. They're giving you techno-babble terms, you moron.
This plane is going to use that, and the Dream is talking about it. So once again, it's like, dang, you guys, my father is not a defense contractor. He wouldn't know about polymers, but that's what we're working on. So again, just staggering Stavatti prophecy.
Staggering. It's a staggering Stavatti prophecy, friends. Next.
Some force.
Macario says, Stavatti Aero has been making claims like this for 20 plus years, but it was the last four under Biden that they held David back from getting money and making a hover car. Yeah, it's Biden's fault that he never made the hover car.
Came over our hover bike and then steered us into a swamp. Well, sure enough.
Listen to this nonsense. Like, he dreamed this and then he made slides about it. We were arriving on the bicycle. Some force came over the bicycle and steered us into a swamp. This means something. Another kid was riding near us. His name was Edgar. She was talking about how she was thinking about getting together with Edgar on a romantic level. What?
You know, I would already be doing very well. I would already have been financed. I would already have products coming out. We'd have hover cars coming out. Clearly, there has been massive, massive interference holding our company back. Finally, now the administration is changing.
Yeah, it's not that technology doesn't work. It's not that they can't even produce like a paraglider. Their company is so incompetent and broke and shitty. It's the deep state stopped them from producing the hover cars.
It's all kind of gone away, and we're able to get a deal now. So we're just dotting the I's, crossing the T's. But yeah, some force came over the hover bike and steered it into a swamp. Imagine that. It's talking about the last 4 years of interference that we've gone through.
It's Joe Biden's fault. It's Joe Biden's fault we never got the hover cars, friends. Not that they have no working prototype. Not that they don't have anything that actually can produce anti-gravity. No, it's Joe Biden's fault. It's the deep state interference and Joe Biden that caused this to happen, right? Just a few more clips.
I feel like there's a lot of pressure on me. I always want to make sure the alliance is happy with me.
He says Stavatti's main legal issues are gone. Well, why are creditors still suing Stavatti? Why are investors still suing Stavatti? And I love how he has to say, if you see anything else out there on the internet, it's from the deep state. You know, like he has to preempt his dumb as rocks followers saying the truth. Like we showed the court documents, right?
With me, which they are. You know, I want to be happy with myself. I've had some major, major stresses get lifted off of me. We've had some very positive developments with Stavatti and our legal issues. The main legal issue we had appears to basically be gone.
The court case is still ongoing. Why are you lying to your followers? Do you not know how to look it up and see that the court case hasn't been settled? Christopher Beskar is lying to you, David Wilcock. The case isn't being settled. It's going forward.
It's probably going to completely go away. I can't really disclose any details right now, but there is a motion to dismiss, and we're probably going to get it for...
No, they're not going to get the motion to dismiss.
Very valid reasons. So anyway, this really, really blew me away. I mean, how can you get any more accurate than that? This is the time loop par excellence.
Okay, so he's saying that Stavatti's legal issues are gone, but yet they're, to the last time I checked, to the best of my knowledge, the creditors that they never paid are still suing them, seeking liens on their property, and judgments against the company. The investor is suing them because he feels he's owed, what was it, $5 or $6 million? Remember, the investor gave them $1 million and they said they'd give him back $5 million. He hasn't even gotten his initial $1 million back yet. The legal problems are not going away, David. They're just not going away. But it is what it is.
So it's not
David Wilcock lives in a delusional fairy tale world. In situations like this, where David says shit crazier than usual, it's helpful to remember that he's probably making it all up. Liz E says he interprets these alleged old dreams as cyclical prophetic to the present and interprets them to fit any narrative. It's not a prophecy at all, but narcissism on display. I love how when there's a post about a spiritual guru, some other fake spiritual guru will chime in. And Macario just says WTF, because here he's talking about basically like gay dudes butt banging each other. Nice. So just so we're sure that we're getting it on the record, David Wilcock is publicly acknowledging that he dreams about dudes butt banging each other. All right? Like, it's important that we recognize that David Wilcock is dreaming about homosexual sex. Why would a man dream about homosexual sex? Well, you guys probably know why I think he's dreaming about homosexual sex.
He's responsible for this. He's not. If they had anything on him, they would have done it a long time ago. So I did some swimming. I went to the shower. And this is where it all starts to get weird and talk about the island.
A little bit.
There were two naked older gentlemen standing in the shower together. Yeah. They seemed self-conscious when I saw them. November, who was about 4 years old at the time, she was the daughter of one of the
He has to write out slides to explain his gay dreams.
People on the farm.
Oh, I'm having dreams of gay dudes. This is important. Let's get the slides fired up. It's
now she was
so
the daughter
ridiculous.
Of these two weird old men. And they weren't feeding her. She was starving. She was asking me for food, and she was really desperate. And they're trying to destroy the evidence, like the LA fires. I did jump in and try to recover the music stand. And he then jumped in. He was going to land right on top of me, so I had to move out of the way. Someone else jumped in and tried to save him.
Oh, the gay dude's drowning in the water.
The other guy got behind him. And the guy that saved him saves the guy, brings him out of the water by tying themselves together. And then the guy who had jumped over the edge of the boat, symbolic of these weird, creepy men, he starts.
I just want to say, then he started trying to hump the guy saving him. Now, remember, he claims that these prophecies are coming from an angel. Why would an angel give you dreams of homosexual nature, which is basically against every major religion? Thinks that that's a sin, homosexuality. Why would an angel make David Wilcock dream about gay sex on purpose? A little bit of a plot hole here, Mr. Wilcock.
He starts trying to do his thing on the guy who was saving him. He's that crazy that he's trying to dry you-know-what the guy that's saving him.
So David Wilcock is dreaming about dudes humping each other.
It's just so weird and awkward, but this is, again, their mentality. And we're seeing this right now. They're just trying to do the last little bit of evil that they can while they have a chance. The rescuer was a man, then turns into a woman who had these huge, over-exaggerated breasts, huge cleavage-bearing top on where you could really see this, and they were utterly massive, much bigger than any biological thing. The drowning man then tried to do his thing with her. This, again, symbolic of the DS.
Yeah, so David Wilcock is now turning his wet dreams into grifting material. How desperate do you have to be as a grifter to go well, I'm having dreams about dudes banging each other and, then they turn into women and bang and I'll put that on a slide and grift my audience with it, right? Yeah. Yes. The Buddhas of Boston Sports says, not only dreaming it, making slides about that and sharing it on the internet. Yeah. Who does that, right? Who would do this? David Wilcock, he's desperate for material. This means something, David Wilcock thinks, right? Just a few more slides. Thank God.
David, next week is Easter. Can you do your show on?
Yeah, and Macario says his family doesn't want him around. Ha ha, poor David.
Saturday, please, says Jackie Baby. Okay. Maybe we will. Maybe we will. Let me think about it. I have to organize my week differently, but I will consider doing the show on Saturday.
Oh man, I was going to do a show on Saturday. Don't make me do a Wilcock show, Wilcock. One a week is enough of you.
So that people can have their Easter and you're not going to be spending 5 hours sitting in front of the screen. That's a good point. It's probably better to not do it on the day of, because a lot of people do have family commitments there. I mean, I don't.
I don't. Oh, suffer, David Wilcock. Your mom and dad don't want you home for Easter? Jeez.
People do have family commitments there. I mean, I don't. But I'm, living out in the woods crazy guy. So
living out in the woods. That's why we titled tonight's broadcast Alone on the Mountain. He's living in a $2 million mansion. He's not living in the woods. I mean, the $2 million mansion might be surrounded by woods, but he's not exactly just living out in the woods as a mountain man. He would die if he had to survive out in the wilderness. Trust me.
Yeah, so I'm very, very...
He thinks Shadows of Ezra and Trump are going to give him a call soon. This is when we get into David Wilcock's delusion that Q-tards are members of the alliance, and so is Donald Trump, and he's probably getting a job as the alien ambassador in the Trump administration, and Shadows of Ezra is going to call him up.
Very excited. I want to see the alliance get to the final step. I'd love to be doing this work in some other capacity besides alone in my own home. I think the alliance is going to invite me in on some official capacity. Because
he's going to be an official alliance member, which is going to be difficult because the alliance doesn't exist, David Wilcock. Your grifty friend made it up.
Because, people are going to need to learn about all these things that were hidden, and I'm already teaching you about them. So once you find out on a global level that all this stuff I've been telling you is true, they might not agree to all of it, but let's say a majority of the things I'm saying they're going to agree are true. Well, that's going to put me in a much more prominent position. So,
oh yeah, he's going to be a big deal in the Trump administration, friends. Talk about delusions of grandeur, right?
I'm both kind of afraid of it as well as excited about it, because I really just don't want to be spending the rest of my life alone in the mountains in a house with, just by myself.
Yeah, he's spending his time in a multi-million-dollar mansion in the mountains. It's not that bad, David. And Buffalo Spunk says, oh yeah, funding is coming soon, and disclosure, and ascension, and mass arrests, and hover cars, and light bodies, and yada, yada, yada.
It's not the best. Okay, so anyway, what we're seeing here is the same military alliance I was talking about making daily posts on Twitter, X.
It's not the alliance. It's a Q-tard, you moron. Jesus. All right, just two more.
Thank you guys for your super chats.
Oh, this is the last one, actually. This is the last clip, friends. Thank you for the super chats.
Thank you guys for your super chats. It really does help me out. Because we have the aerospace thing, because products like this will eventually augment my income.
He really still thinks he's going to make lots of money from this shady aerospace company. He is an idiot. How dumb do you have to be to think a company that's never produced anything for 30 years is suddenly going to be making millions and millions and millions?
Very nicely. I'm not going to have to worry about making money anymore, so I want to make it clear that I could sell this stuff, but I'm not, and I'm voluntarily taking a much lower income.
He is selling it, though, because his streams are monetized, and he's collecting super chats while he's selling this nonsense.
Maintaining basically a poor lifestyle.
Oh, yes. He's only made $258,000 last year. He's living a poor lifestyle, all for you, friends.
Because I'm waiting for the big money to come in from the company. I want you guys to have this information. I have just enough time to build up the 5-hour show during the week.
Yeah, oh yeah. It takes him all week long to make these nonsensical slides of gibberish. Could you imagine, if he had to work a real job, be a roofer, or do drywall all day, or cement work, or demolition, or paint a house? He would die in an hour. It's a lot of work, guys, making these nonsensical slides. It takes me all week to make 5 hours worth of nonsense slides.
In between the massages that I get and everything else I'm doing. So
yeah, he's getting 3 times a week. He's getting massages. He's really, really desperate. You know, he's really destitute. He's really living a poor lifestyle. Who is poor that gets massages 3 times a week, Wilcock?
Again, I feel a lot better this week. There was a lot more worry on my shoulders last week. We had a major breakthrough with the Stavatti lawsuit. It's about to be dismissed.
And John Christian Stavatti has the paperwork. It's not about to be dismissed. David Wilcock is lying to 500,000 people. And not for nothing, but it's one thing to be a liar, but to lie to 500,000 people routinely, week after week after week after week. Remember, he has 500,000 subscribers. So he's basically lying to 500,000 people 4 times a month, over and over and over again. The Stavatti lawsuits are not over. They're not settled. RoboNext666 is here with one for the goal. I only know of one angel, and that would I only know of one angel that would give you gay dreams. Well, thank you for that and putting a smile on my face. RoboNext666, thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
Yeah, thank you, RoboNext666. And Arlene Atkins says, he cultivates a following of unstable people. He is a puke. And, oh, how do you say that one? Functional Grudge says, such a bad week. He had to have 4 massages. Yeah. David misses Corey's butt sex. Yes, yes, yes. Let's finish this out and get out of here.
They responded to our motion to dismiss 5 business days late, and they just gave us a false affidavit that has nothing to do with the case. So they're done. And that's really fantastic because...
So he's saying the case is done, and this is really fantastic.
Once that happens, it's a very, very quick path to clear our debts. We have no outstanding problems with the people we owe money to.
He just said, we have no outstanding problems with the people we owe money to. They are seeking foreclosure on your business property, the only asset you have. They are suing you, seeking liens on your property and foreclosure. But he just said they have no problems with the people they owe money. Multiple people are suing his company, including their own accountant. Listen, if you can't pay the accountant and the accountant has to sue you to get their money, you're not producing any generation fighter aircraft, okay? They owe literally, I don't know, $1.5 million, I think. They've got to be $1.5 million in debt. Or more, really, because they promised Dmitriev, this investor, that if he gave them $1 million, they'd give him back $5 million. And then all the creditors that they owe money to, I think, from the best of my knowledge and recollection, it's about $500,000. So technically, I guess, allegedly, David Wilcock Stavatti Aerospace is $5.5 million, $5.5 million in debt. And he thinks that's all just going to magically go away, and then he's going to make a ton of money when they start producing these aircraft. But first, they got to get out of $5.5 million in debt. Then they have to collect $10 million in investment. Good luck doing that when the former investors have to sue you to get their money back, and creditors have to. Nobody's investing in a company that's being sued out the wazoo by all their creditors, including their accountant.
We're in regular contact with all of them. We keep them updated. They're happy. Anything else?
Yeah, they're so happy they're suing him. They're so happy they're suing the company. Let me tell you, if you're suing the company that owes you money, you're not happy.
You see on the internet is totally fake.
Okay, here it is. Anything else
you see on the internet?
Anything else you see on the internet is totally fake. Well, we've got the court documents, and I'm going to show them to my audience, you liar.
They're happy. Anything else you see on the internet is totally fake and very likely the product of the DS.
Oh, I guess the DS has infected the courts because we have the documents to prove that what you're telling 500,000 people is a complete and total lie, Wilcock.
So there's positive dreams about our company getting funded. That continues to happen in the time loop.
Yeah, he thinks, well, I'm having good dreams about the company, so it must mean that we're going to get out of all this debt, no problem.
And I again want to thank you guys for being here. This is an amazing opportunity that I have. I don't take it lightly. I greatly respect everyone in the Alliance. Thank you guys for putting your faith.
He's thanking the imaginary alliance now.
Faith and trust in me. Thank you.
No, who put their faith and trust in you? It's like, yeah, that Ancient Aliens guy is really doing a great job, reading Q-Tard posts every Sunday. We got to give him a job because he's so good at regurgitating Q-Tard talking points.
You guys for sending me weird comms. Like I'm talking to my body worker about, well, the first one they ought to grab is...
He has a body worker? I think he means the masseuse.
John, and then all of a sudden they made a post about that right after I said it to her.
He thinks the Alliance is listening in to his massage sessions. Let's back that up. He thinks that the Alliance is listening in to his massage sessions, friends.
Your faith and trust in me. Thank you guys for sending me weird comms. Like I'm talking to my body worker about, well, the first one they ought to grab is John, and then all of a sudden they made a post about that right after I said it to her in the appointment, and she has a phone there, so they could have heard it through that.
Oh yeah, the Alliance is tapping David Wilcock's masseuse's phone so that they could send him secret messages. Like, do we get a decoder ring too? You childish idiot. Wow. Legal Eagle is here with $20 and one for the goal. Turns out David's Alliance is a gay steam bath in Jersey. Yeah, David's Alliance is definitely a gay steam bath in New Jersey. Look at Wilcock. Does he look like somebody that frequents gay bathhouses? I think so, but that's just my opinion.
Ra commands you to bow down and praise the cash.
Ra has commanded, and Legal Eagle has obeyed, praising the cash for $20. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. Much, much appreciated. Okay, so we have, the court documents. Okay, more disinformation by David. Dmitriev's attorneys did not file an affidavit. They filed a response to Stavatti's motion for summary judgment, which, by the way, is not in compliance with court rules. I'm not a legal expert, but I'd wager that their motion is not going to go like David thinks it will. By the way, what happened to David's lie that they were settling with Dmitriev? Remember, David Wilcock a few weeks ago said that the Dmitriev lawsuit was being settled and everybody's happy, right? It is ridiculous. So here we have, right in black and white, David Wilcock just lied to 500,000 people. The clerk of the court, not the deep state, told Stavatti and their attorney that their filing is bogus. Document is not in compliance. So David Wilcock, your moron company can't even file a court document right. How are you going to build hover cars and anti-gravity and free energy and all that shit, you liar? They can't even fill out a court form right. Yeah, plus the duelist is here with one for the goal. The religious version of DSP, I presume. Yes, very much, very much. The new age grifter UFO guy, spirituality guy version of DSP. The DSP actually begs more than Wilcock. Wilcock doesn't really beg. They just give it to him. They give him thousands of dollars, his morons. Wilcock is great at extracting money from morons on the internet, but thank you, plus the duelist, for your kindness, your generosity, and your support.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. The blue chickens command you to praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
Thank you, plus the duelist. And a good question. Call Me Astro says, is Luke Skywalker part of the Alliance too, David? Well, he said that Star Wars is basically a documentary. So here we have it in black and white. David Wilcock is lying to everybody. Stavatti is in trouble with the court for not filing the proper paperwork. Dmitriev is still suing them. Yeah, the clerk of the court told Stavatti to F off. Yeah, what's the local rule of civil procedure 7.1 say? I don't know, Garazi. I'm not a lawyer. But it's enough to say that David Wilcock is lying to everyone yet again. The lawsuits are not being settled. And Detective is here with one for the goal. Crazy how many people still believe this clown. It boggles the mind. Can't wait for your birthday when his grift falls apart. Yeah, and it's going to fall apart. And thank you, Detective, with one for the goal. Praise the cash and thank Ra Almighty.
Praise the cash, thank Ra Almighty, praise the cash. Praise the cash, thank Ra Almighty.
Thank Ra Almighty. And praise the cash, bitches. Thank you, Detective, longtime show supporter. Big ups. So yeah, we've made it through another of David Wilcock's nonsensical rambling streams of nonsense. And I'm just here to tell you, David Wilcock, you gotta change it up. The mass arrests aren't working no more. Even your idiot followers are starting to go, didn't you say this last year? Like, they know that you're lying to them. They know that you are recycling old nonsense, right? They know it. They know that you're recycling old nonsense. I was going to save this one for overtime, but we'll throw it into this show. So every once in a while, people ask me why I don't go to UFO conventions, right? I get asked that all the time. People say, why don't you go to UFO conventions, Stephen? And I'm going to show you why I don't go to UFO conventions. So this is a UFO convention. I want to cite fair use. This is a transformative work. We're sharing the video to critique it and educate the public about UFO conventions. Here's why I don't go. And I've just checked in with the goal. We're only at 17 of 50. So let no man say that I am not a generous show host. We did not hit the overtime goal, but I'm going to give you this for the overtime. I had some other stuff planned, but it's fine. I have other things to do tonight. For those unaware, I'm doing a total YouTube channel backup. So what does that mean? That means I have to download 1,500 files and archive them on one hard drive. And then when I'm done with that, I have to copy the entire archive over to 2 more hard drives. And this is going to take all week long. I'm doing a couple hours a day, even with a background in IT, backing up an entire YouTube channel that's years old, when you've got as much content as we do, is very, very difficult. The Buddhas of Motion Sports says, it's not recycling, it's time loop. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But thank you. One more for the goal. And thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
Praise the cash, friends. So let's get into this for a little bit of bonus content tonight. This, my friends, is why I don't go to UFO conventions. This is why.
What planet are you from?
I don't know planet-wise, but I do know that I was a dragon being.
Would you consider yourself an alien then?
Yes, absolutely.
What was it like being a dragon?
A lot more freedom. Freedom of movement, freedom of...
He's a dragon!
Being.
Could you really blow fire?
Should he be at a fucking Renaissance fair instead of a UFO convention if he believes he's a dragon?
Yes, but it's not fire in the way we think of it. It's more cleansing fire. I always kind of felt attracted to dragons, just feeling like, oh yeah, this is my kind of being. But then as
He's attracted to dragons, friends.
was really feeling that, allowing myself to open up more, I'm like, I know what it's like to be a dragon. I know the physical sensations
And then
somehow.
you was on mushrooms and you was just feeling it?
It's actually weed.
Have you been abducted?
And this is the girl, friends. This is the girl that we made. Simon Fly made videos about this girl. She's the alien channeler, right? I recognize her everywhere. And don't we have, I think I have one of her videos. Maybe not in this studio. Yeah. Oh man. Let me see if I can find it, because it'll put this into context much better if that video is there. Oh man, I'm not going to be able to find it. I'm finding all kinds of DSP stuff that was not in this studio. Oh, I got it. All right, I'm not going to play this whole thing, but I'll play just a little bit of it here. This is this girl. I think this is our girl. And here she is at a UFO convention. fair use, comedic parody.
Alien force on this planet today waging war against humans and our biology. Alien force on this planet today waging war against humans and our biology. Alien force. 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 Alien force.
I just thought this was funny because this I believe is the same girl. I'm almost sure it's her. She hangs out at UFO conventions. She's kind of a fixture at UFO conventions, and this is the girl who channels blue avian aliens. Even though Corey Good made up blue avian aliens out of his imagination and they're not real, somehow she's channeling them. And yeah, so it's funny that this guy caught her at a UFO convention. At least I believe it's her.
I have, yes. I've had like first contact, yeah. When I was like a newborn, they took genetic information from me. I was in a hybridization program.
Oh, she's an alien hybrid and a channeler.
And then I had contact, like physical contact again back in 2018. And I'm consistently working with in the etheric realms though. So they'll take my astral body up into ships, they'll upgrade my energy field and system, and then they'll put me back down in my body.
Yeah. It sounds like she went on one of Sarah R. Adams' galactic trips through a Stargate up to a spaceship on a Zoom call.
I've heard people say that your aura can be as big as a town, but that would be like a really special person. Yeah. How big do you think your aura is?
Like 7 inches, maybe.
Yeah. I think when you wear a shirt like that,
he said his aura is 7 inches.
Yeah.
Would you like to try my spiritual technologies?
What is your spiritual technology?
It's transferring like aliens' energies.
Okay.
I infuse this with essential oils and crystals, breathwork, meditations.
Oh. He's just trolling these bitches bad.
Ready?
Okay.
All right, ready?
He's giving her head.
So when did you first meet ETs?
Oh, this one's good.
In 2017, I was a construction worker. I was literally building.
Second guy we met.
Yeah, I was a construction worker. I was building landfills. I was using heavy equipment to build landfills. I started getting abducted by ETs in the landfill.
Whoa, he was abducted by aliens in a garbage dump, friends.
And I thought it was weird dreams. I was having these dreams where I was going up in these ships, and these blue beings were like showing me like through visions this material first.
You gotta have the crystals.
Like,
yes, you gotta have the crystals.
So I quit my 100K.
He was just digging the holes, and it was like aliens was coming.
No, I was a superintendent, so I was in charge. I was in charge of building the whole landfill. And
by the way, this is fair use.
Up into a ship, and they were showing me different materials and showing me this ship and all this crazy stuff, and I just thought it was a dream, but then it kept happening, and then eventually it started happening not during while I was sleeping, it started happening while I was awake.
You could see blue aliens.
Yeah, now
somebody was
people
smoking
up into
crack.
The ships to talk to aliens.
That crack.
So now I'm an ambassador for that, and that's what I do for a living.
So how much does it cost to meet aliens?
The program, the base program is 20 one-on-one sessions, and that's $10K.
$10,000 to meet the aliens,
for mer families, mer people, mermaids, mermen, and
are mermaids real?
Absolutely.
Mermaids are absolutely real, friends.
Have you seen them?
I am a merman.
Just go.
He's a merman. What?
Feel energies up in that scan. Let's do some heart chakra clearing. And then go down to the root and then breathe. Align. Beautiful.
The fact that they like don't know that they're being trolled makes it better.
Oh, yeah. Did you feel it?
I do. I feel it.
Have you met any aliens?
Dude, when's the last time you think this dude washed his hair? Jesus Christ.
I've seen alien ships, and I've seen aliens looking into someone's eyes. The alien appeared in front of my girlfriend's face as we were eye gazing.
Oh yeah, how long were you looking in her eyes for?
Minutes and minutes, 20 minutes. We probably saw the alien for over 5 minutes. We both saw the same
totally credible
non-human
story.
face.
This is a tantra exercise right now.
Oh yeah.
Looking into someone's eyes for 30 seconds or more without moving them, and you can see inside their souls.
Is this what you do when you like do it?
Wow. Yeah.
Is this what you do when you do it?
You should. I would hope so. If you're not looking into your partner's eyes.
I mean, sometimes I do for a bit, yeah.
Oh, but then you get a little nervous.
No, but then sometimes I like it when. No, I don't get nervous. I don't get nervous. You get no projecting, okay? No, I don't get nervous. I just want them to see me in an animalistic state, not looking at them.
Oh, just going
and
at
not
it.
caring about. No.
Well, now we know.
I want to open your kundalini.
He wants to open your kundalini.
You'll never know who I am because I am not. So I can be everything.
Oh, friends, let's go to the next. I don't know if that music is copyrighted. I recognize this clown.
Things you've seen.
Yeah, like people who've lived without food for years.
Yeah.
I've had a person live with me who lived without food for 7 years.
Have you met aliens?
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
I speak to them as beings.
And again, this is what I'm going to show people when they ask me why I don't go to UFO conventions. Look at this shit.
I channel the praying mantis.
Do they like?
This guy channels praying mantis aliens.
Oh, you praying mantis?
Praying mantis.
Like the fish? Or no, the grasshopper.
The insectoid. Yeah.
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 They is aliens.
Yeah, totally.
The insects.
Yeah. They're part of it.
Do
They send us the vibration and frequency of them.
So you pray
Send
to
us the vibration
I don't pray, I
frequency.
speak to them.
Oh yeah.
They're part of me, yeah.
Yeah. Is it like learning Spanish or is it?
We all have those abilities to speak spirit language.
Yeah.
So we're just expressing more and stretching. Yeah, we're stretching our reality of what like vocabulary means.
Love is in the air with every sight and every sound. Well, I don't know
Yeah, a lot of quality, really grounded people at those UFO conventions.
what I've been feeling, and I know that I'm kind of thrilling.
Why do you think they want us to believe the Earth is
It's a
round?
military secret for sure. I've talked to high-level
Oh, this guy's a flat earther. What a moron.
military people in multiple countries, and they know it's flat. All the air forces of those countries, they use the flat Earth maps. They know.
They know, my friends. This is why I don't go to UFO conventions. Just a little bit extra I thought I would throw in. We have Chill Station 7. Fair use, Bish. Thank you for your kindness, your generosity, and your support of the show. Much, much appreciated. And we'll see if we can't get our cash clown here to thank you.
Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash, praise the cash.
Thank you, Chill Station 7. Big support tonight. Thank you for your kindness. And Farty McFly is here with one for the goal. Rest assured, Kings, a 4-inch aura is above average. Says Farty McFly. Yeah, you only need, what more do you need than 4 inches?
Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash.
Yeah, Arlene Atkins says, them folks are certainly a reason to not go. That's what it is. That's what it is. That I know everyone I've ever been was like that. And I've only been to a few. And that was years ago. I haven't gone in ages. Everybody tries to get me to go to Contact in the Desert because everybody's there. And if there is anybody you actually want to meet, and really there's very few people that I actually do want to meet in the UFO world, Stephen, you have to go now just to mock these freaks. Maybe if there's one near me, I will consider it. But I'm going with a camera and microphone, and I'll cover it. That would make it worth RoboNext666 asking, are we measuring our R as soft or hard? Well, both ways works, I think. Yeah. How big do you think your R is? The guy says 7 inches, and the girl doesn't know she's being trolled. Like, not the brightest bulbs at those things. Flat Earth is real. Me and Willie Nelson once smoked a joint atop the ice wall, says a surly barber. A likely story. So we've done our due diligence, friends. We've made it through another shit stream of Wilcock, and I hope these get better, because honestly, this Wacky World of Wilcock show is losing viewers. We used to get 400 or 500 viewers for this when he was in his real crazy mode, but now he's in boring, repetitive mode. And it's very difficult to make a show out of this. It's just the same shit every week. The mass arrests are coming. Ascension's coming. The big deals for my aircraft company are coming. They're coming. They're coming. Everybody's coming. It's all coming. All except David Wilcock's wife. Wah, wah. Anyway, I want to thank you, kind and generous benefactors. We'll check back in with the Kick chat just to be sure that there's nothing else to call out. For those unaware, we read every single super chat and every single Kick subscriber or whatever. And we've got one Kick subscriber tonight, Winter Soldier. So big shout out and thank you to Winter's Soldier. We thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. 1 second. Let me get rid of that. Exit screen share. I'm always a little concerned here. Let me check in with the PayPal pledges. It's another great way to support the show. Or you can join us on Patreon for as little as $1 a month, or become a YouTube channel member for $5. You get the same benefits on the Patreon and on the YouTube channel membership. You get a few extra goodies. Okay, so we want to take a moment to thank Nemesis Bex for kind and generous PayPal pledge of $10. Says, coming up to 24 months as a member, still the best YouTube channel on YouTube. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. That is much, much appreciated. And we thank you for your kindness. Nemesis Bex is a longtime show supporter and has been a YouTube channel member for almost 24 months now. So thank you for that. Nemesis Bex, big show supporter, longtime show supporter. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
All right, so we've praised the cash enough for one night. I'm going to bounce on out of here, but we do want to thank you, kind and generous benefactors, you YouTube channel members, you Patreon supporters, you Kick subscribers, you people gifting Kick subs, you people gifting YouTube memberships, you people throwing super chats or super stickers at me, and you super thanks people, and you PayPal pledgers, and you people buying me a coffee. All great ways to support the show. I am thankful. I live in a land of being blessed, right? And I am blessed. I will continue to be blessed. Thank you for making me feel so blessed. So we have done our due diligence. I will be back. I believe I will be back, right? Yes, I will be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. No place I would rather be. I hope you'll be here with me. I've got a fun show planned for tomorrow, so please do be here 7 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow night. But for now, that's all I got for you, friends. Until next time, my name is Stephen Cambian. Good night, and God bless all of you.
Dark corners of the night, secrets hidden from the light. Whispers turn to screams, shattering all your dreams. Eyes wide open now, truth you can't disavow. Echoes through the halls, crashing all your walls. Truth seekers exposing the truth. Truth seekers coming for you. Uncover will pierce you through. Reveal what is true.